Orioles on Masson and a day game here in Birdland at Camden Yards. Lots of youngsters will be on hand taking the opportunity before the game. Look at that. Celebrating out there where the Orioles have the legends. The Orioles and Detroit fans together. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us for our day game today for the Orioles. While there has been much talk about the pitching, it's the Orioles need some runs. You're not going to win many one-run ball games for the Orioles. That's all they've been scoring here at home of late. The Orioles, first time in the ball game last night where they lost the lead going into the ninth inning. They've now lost the first two games to the Tigers. Here's how it happened. Let's go back to game number one. They've all been late-inning ball games. As Bud Norris had a great outing, and then in the eighth, Kinsler, the two-run homer. It would give the Tigers a 4-1 lead. Then, next batter, Hunter gets hit. All that ensued after that settled down. We didn't see any repercussions last night. Last night, however, again, it goes late into the ball game. Adam Jones delivering the home run first inning. Ubaldo Jimenez, a tremendous outing as he gave up no runs, 7 strikeouts over 7 innings, leaving the ball game. And for Tommy Hunter, the disappointing ending as the home run by Cabrera, 3-run lead. Martinez got one as well. And for the Orioles, now they've got to try and avoid the sweep of the Tigers. Last time the Tigers swept the Orioles here in Baltimore, 2005.
And they do it against a guy, Justin Verlander, Cy Young in 2011, MVP, 8-2 lifetime, but they beat him this year. And I think the one thing that I look at is pitching's been really good, with the exception of the high slider that Cabrera hit for the 3-run home run. What the Tigers have done and the Orioles haven't been able to do. Jonesy got the home run last night, but it was a solo shot. 2-run home run in the first game by Kinsler certainly made a big difference, and then the 3-run by Cabrera last night, and then Martinez with a solo shot. So the Orioles have done about everything you need to do, but it's very difficult to win 1-0, and that's the only way. They would have probably had to beat the best team in baseball, and that's the Tigers.
Jim, the Orioles are going to go to the Houston minor league way for this game, really. Kevin Gausman's going to start, but in honesty, this is a 2-starter game because Gausman's probably not going to throw more than 80 pitches no matter what, so they'll have somebody else in the bullpen, and that'll be Gonzalez ready to go.
Well, the other good thing about the fact that they've gotten good starting pitching all the way back to, April 25th is that your bullpen's pretty well rested, so they wanted Gausman in an Oriole uniform, not a Norfolk uniform, since opening day. He pitched very well in the spring. They wanted him to get his innings. He did have that focal pneumonia, so the most pitches I think he's thrown is 77. But you're right, this is going to be 75, 80. Hopefully they'll get him an early lead, something they haven't done for a lot of the pitchers. But this kid's got plus stuff, and I mean, you kind of old in Verlander, who's is about as good as it gets, and you got the future pitching for the Orioles today.
And that's what we're going to take a look at when we come back. Our day game here. We'll have partly cloudy skies to kick it off. It has cooled down considerably. Game 3, Tigers and Orioles, the last time they'll meet in the regular season. Lesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. Dramatic change in the temperature from yesterday, where it got to be in the low 90s. We'll start this ball game at 65 degrees. Little breeze that'll be heading out towards left field. Visit trainsearch.com to find your local train comfort specialist dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. And take a look at the starting lineup for the Detroit Tigers. Couple of changes in it. Davis will lead off. Kinsler, Cabrera, Martinez, Victor, then J.D. Martinez, Jackson, Kelly. Holiday will get a start. He hasn't started. And Danny Worth a start at short. Cabrera, same old stuff.
Oh, and Kevin Gausman gets to face one of the better hitting teams in baseball, leading the American League in average. So there are the fastballs, the splitter, that's his changeup, slider, occasional changeup and splitter are the same. So 23% of those. And then to me, the key to him, because he's got a power arm, 93 to 99 miles per hour. I don't think he's hit 100 here in the big leagues yet. It's about, can he command the slider, wipeout, strikeout pitch. We saw a much better one this spring and even last year after they put him in the bullpen. And he will tell you, I just went after him when I was a bullpenner, so we'll see if he's able to do that against the Tigers today.
So Kevin Gausman will start. He threw on Saturday, working in his last ball game in Norfolk, so he's working on short rest. He had that bout with pneumonia. He was gone for 2 weeks, came back off the DL and pitched on Saturday. So the Orioles, what they can get out of him today will be interesting to see, both physically, since it's only the second game he's pitched since coming off the DL, and he's not thrown more than 77 pitches, averaging 72 this year at Norfolk. So the expectation is he can give a solid 4 or a solid 5. That'll be a pretty good day. Yeah,
and again, if you look at his average pitching, because he's a power guy, it's probably going to be 15, 16 if he's on his game. So that 5 innings will be about 80 pitches.
Rajah Davis, and the pitch will be taken for a strike. And Gausman's back in the majors for the first time this year. Davis this series, the 0 for 3. Speedster, though, with that big stolen base in the ballgame last night. That'll be fouled off down the line, and Gausman quickly gets ahead 0-2. The Orioles come in 20-17. They have not lost ground despite having lost 3 in a row. And that's because the Yankees have been losing and the Red Sox blew one last night. And a swing and a miss held onto by Clevenger and a strikeout.
Now take a look right here. Guys late on your fastball. You don't have to use all your pitches. It's not a showcase in the first inning, and just throws a sinker in the low 90s, and Rajah Davis swings right over it. So 3 pitches, 3 outs.
Our Jeep inside the numbers. Here are the numbers for him as a starter in the major league level and as a reliever. That 0-3 mark as a starter, so a 3-5 career mark at the major league level. Ian Kinsler with a fine series, couple of hits, 7 at bats, big hits for him. Shift on against him, he'll go after it and foul it off.
Well, when you have, if you're going to ever sign a #1 pitcher as your #1 draft choice, Dylan Bundy coming back through 93, 2 days ago, first batting practice coming off Tommy John. But Kevin Gausman's the type of arm you want to sign. Plus arm. Great changeup. That's probably his second best pitch at this time, and then still working on the slider. But it's an easy 98. Sound like he's really grunting and groaning.
He has had an appearance against the Tigers once and was not involved in the decision. 6 innings, gave up only 1 run and 5 hits. Kinsler will whack that one back into the seats, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. So it's a big day for the Orioles. Buck Showalter said, probably temporary that he's up here pitching at this point, but everybody knows if he's good, he's staying. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, they have options. They have guys that are starting that could pitch in the bullpen and probably do a really good job. They're going to want to do it, but this is a team game. And the obvious reason is Chen has been pitching very well. Tigers are 9-2 against lefties. They feel more comfortable. Let him pitch in Kansas City.
There is Gonzalez in the bullpen, Jim. So that's his job today. He's the second starter, if you will, coming out of the rotation so that Gausman could pitch. Gausman goes 4 or 5. He'll come in to work the rest of the ball game. Maybe that's the plan, but who knows? Gausman's effective and feels good. He'll stay. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Kinsler. The shift on in the infield. And got him on an inside corner pitch.
Yeah, Kinsler thought it was low. I don't think they were actually inside. I think maybe, if anything, it might have been down a little bit. You got a rookie umpire, John Tumpane, and so you could see Clevenger. Steve just drags it up a little bit. Watch the glove come up. That tells me that he's thinking. So I think maybe Kinsler thought it was low and inside. Either way, the home plate umpire. We've seen 3 pretty big strike zones, and I think the scoreboard has reflected that in this series.
Tumpane, one of the new umpires with his crew, down the line, and a foul ball by Cabrera.
Take a look at the Orioles defense, brought to you by Chevrolet. Lowe, Jones, and Marquez. Very, very mobile outfield. Machado, the Platinum Glove winner. Hardy with 2 Gold Gloves. Scope and Davis, and then Steve Clevenger with the he's using the Wonder Bat. 3 hits on Monday night.
Miguel Cabrera, the 3-for-7 home run. I mean, it's just amazing the damage he does this year against the Orioles. He is 9 for 20. He's got 2 home runs and 7 RBIs in the 5 games that they have played on the year. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way, and that's inside. Tigers with a 4-1 edge in the season series coming into this final matchup.
Yeah, you need to get rid of this team. They're awfully good.
They're very good.
You can get them away. Yep. You're not going to see him. You hope you see him in the playoffs. How about the 11-game hitting streak? What that Cabrera has against the Orioles? There's a perfect pitch. 20 for 45.
The numbers are just, it's like you can't do that.
And of those 20 hits, 5 of them are home runs, and then he got 13, 14, and 15 RBIs last night on a 3-run home run.
It's just absolutely phenomenal against the Orioles, but that's a lot of teams can say that. 1-2 delivery. Ground ball will go to short. Hardy is there to get it. Over to Davis. And Gosman is back in the major leagues with a 1-2-3 first inning against the Tigers. Orioles lineup coming up. Those of you watching from beautiful Mount Airy, Maryland, located in western Maryland, 35 miles from Baltimore, a town that takes you back in history and all part of Birdland. Here's the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Their fares online only at southwest.com. Marquez, Machado, Jones, Davis, Cruz, and Hardy. Clevenger, Scope, and David Lowe gets the start in left in this one. Adam Jones has had a 3-for-8 in the series.
So Justin Verlander, you can see the fastballs and the changeups. So everybody says, well, he used to throw 98. He did get it up to 96 against the Orioles. They ended up winning that game 3-1. Tillman outdueled him. So there are the numbers. They've been glowing numbers. But he's a 3-pitch pitcher. He can probably start out at 91, 92, and when he needs a little bit extra. The reason he's Justin Verlander, he can go get it.
Coming off a loss to Minnesota, but he gave up only 2 runs on 7 hits and 7 innings in that ball game. So Verlander against the Orioles, 0-1 this year, 8-2 Lifetime against the Orioles, he has never lost. Here at Camden Yards, he is 6-0. Nick Markakis leading it off. Markakis will take it up in the air, left field. Raja Davis.
Well, look at the Tigers defense. You saw it right there. Davis in left field today. Jackson, J.D. Martinez over in right. Kellyworth, Kinsler, and Cabrera. And then we've seen Alex Avila. He got the big hit to start that ninth inning. But you get Matt Holliday today behind the plate. Good catcher. Of course, Verlander, as we said last night, Holliday will put down the signs and he'll decide what he wants to throw.
Here is Manny Machado. Manny with a 3-game hit streak coming in, a hit in each of the first 2 games of this series. And Verlander's pitch to him will be taken for a strike. The Orioles in the ever-tightening Eastern Division, a 1.5-game lead over Boston, New York, and Toronto. Tampa Bay's 4.5 out in the final spot. So it remains very tight. 4 in a row lost by the Yankees. The Orioles have lost 3 in a row, which has tightened this whole thing up again. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Manny Machado. Verlander's overhand pitch will miss inside for a ball.
Yeah, the Yankees, Pineda's got the Terry's minor, so he's going to be out. Then you got Sabathia on the DL with a knee problem. They got bone spurs in Beltran's elbow, so
he's going to be gone.
Yeah, Wieters not playing for the Orioles. Everybody having their problems.
Yep. Manny Machado watches the pitch inside. He is 2 for 9. Lifetime off Verlander. Verlander has surrendered 21 walks, 54 innings. He gives up a little less than a hit per inning. 3-1 delivery on the way. Machado right back off the back of the pitcher's mound. Kinsler. Nice play.
So much after the Avila hit down the line on a sinker down and away about positioning and shifts, but that's a ball that's up the middle. It's a very slow infield, and the miss that we saw this morning probably slow it down a little bit more. But Kinsler well positioned to make that play, and not only did he make it, he made it easy. Because it wasn't an easy play because he did have to backhand it, but the speed of the ball through this infield, it's not like it was opening day here when the Red Sox came into town. Much slower.
That will bring up Adam Jones. Adam delivering a home run RBI, part of the 3 for 8 that he has had in the series. He's only 4 for 30 against Verlander. Does have a home run, and that's going to be a base hit. So Jones gets on it. A 9-game hit streak for Adam now, and the Orioles get a 2-out single here in the first inning.
Well, that pitch was at 90, and we saw him in Detroit throwing 92 when Adam drove in the winning run. He went to 96, and that was in the 8th inning, and he ended up hitting a curveball for a sacrifice fly. So you're going to get him. You need to get him early, and the Orioles have done a pretty good job of doing that. It's not like they beat him very much, as you mentioned, Gary. They've only won twice against him, but they have put runs on the board early, and if you do that with a young pitcher like Kevin Gausman out there, it makes them a little more comfortable. So who better than Chris Davis to start, coming off the DL to start getting back into track.
Shift put on, a full shift with 2 down here in the inning. Davis looking for his first hit in the series. He is 0 for 8 in the first 2 games. Jones drawing the attention of Verlander. Base stealers 3 out of 4 with Verlander on the mound. Matt Holliday, their catcher's thrown out 2 of 6 this year. Jones testing Verlander as he walks off the lead, and the pitch will be outside for a ball. Now, Chris would like to get back on the home run trail. He's never had one off Verlander. He is 4 for 21 lifetime off the Tigers starter. Outfield playing him deep. See if the ball carries today. Air kind of heavy, and that pitch is going to miss off speed delivery at 82 miles an hour.
Well, he can thin out some air molecules when he gets a hold of one. The Orioles are certainly hoping he gets back into. Last year at the end of May, he had already had 19 home runs. Then he'd throw another 12 in June. 31 home runs going into the month of July.
Cabrera applying the tag a couple of times on Adam Jones.
Well, I just don't think, even though we know Adam Jones can steal bases, he's 3 for 3, that when you're struggling for runs, you're going on a slow field, going to send a runner with the reigning RBI home run guy at the plate. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
2-0 delivery on the way, and Davis will take it, and that will miss. So the count goes to 3-0 on Chris Davis. Cruz is waiting on deck. He's the DH in today's ball game, and see if he gets a shot at it here in the first inning. A 3-0 count.
And I have to imagine he has the green light.
Jones not going anywhere. Davis will take the pitch, and it is in there for a strike. Verlander has been a fly ball pitcher this year. 57% of the outs have come on fly balls, a high number. He's done on the road this season, 2-0. Part of that 4-2 record. 3-1 delivery on the way, and Davis will take, and that's a strike.
Yeah, the high changeup gets the call from the rookie umpire.
Dumpain with a call. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Jones will be going, and Cabrera will play behind him at first base. Here's the 3-2 by Verlander, and that'll go into right field. Kinsler is there. Play will be made over, and they will record the out. Actually, that'll be a 6-3, I think, as they have the infield shuffled on that. Thousands. It was WJZ's weather day here at the ballpark. Meteorologists were on hand before the ball game for the kids, and they've surrounded the upper deck and all kinds of signs and orange shirts.
Coming in around 10:20, there were purportedly about 150 buses.
Yes,
with kids, and it stretched from the east side of the ballpark where you go in, the Royal offices, all the way around to the west side.
It did. Ochoa was talking about the fact a couple ball players couldn't get into the parking lot, so they had to park across the street and walk back over.
Well, some of us got a little bit of an escort on the sidewalk.
Here's Victor Martinez.
Boy, what a
Look at this.
Yeah,
Look at this. Cabrera, Martinez. This is for this month. They're hitting .372 combined with 9 home runs and 28 RBIs this month. They are ranked 1, 2, or 3 in average home runs and RBIs for the month. One or both of them. I mean, they are tearing it up right now.
Well, there were some suggestions that they should have walked Cabrera to get to this guy last night and put the put the go-ahead run at second. I mean, Ed, pick your poison. Yeah. Come on, that's how hot he's been.
Kevin Gausman's delivery, that'll be fouled away. He visited Utah Street last night with that home run.
And this is right after Dave Wallace, the Oriole pitching coach, came out to settle Tommy Hunter. And that ball, it was just kind of, I mean, it's almost like he's just looking inside half. It's 96. Ball was wasn't in the middle of the plate, but that's how good a hitter he can be. The last full healthy year, Gary hit .330, and that was 2 years ago before the 2 years ago before the knee injury.
First back-to-back home runs the Tigers have had last night. Well, if he's fully healthy again, which he appears to be, he may very well have that kind of a year again.
And we saw how he can play. I mean, he doesn't catch anymore. He came up as a catcher with the Indians, AA, AAA, MVP in all those leagues. Great clubhouse presence. Switch hitter, hitting .452 from the other side of the plate. So the lefties very intimidated.
Here's Kevin Gausman's delivery, and the pitch will just miss. For Kevin, obviously the numbers from his major league appearances last year, left-handers hit .269 against him, and right-handers hit .283. He did struggle a bit with the long ball last year. 8 home runs surrendered in the 47 innings that he worked. 3-1 delivery, and that ball will be the other way to left field, low. One away in the second inning. Celebrate summer at Oriole Park by picking up the new Birdland Summer 6-pack. A ticket to 6 games of your choice. Great savings. And you can lock your seats in now for the best games and promotions of the summer. For details, Orioles.com/6-pack or 888-848-BIRD. One Martinez gone. Here's the other. J.D. Martinez. And 0 for 4 in the series.
Yeah, he hit one ball hard right to the scope at second base last night. Looked like he did a pretty good job. He's a big, strong guy. He was down at AAA, hit 10 home runs in 17 games. That'll certainly get your attention if you're looking for people. I mean, their normal guy in their lineup would be Andy Dirks with a back problem. So he's had back surgery and he rehabbing his back. So you're looking for some young hitter that has some experience. Played 4 years with Houston in the big leagues.
And that one by Gausman will miss. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Kevin, in the 6 starts that he made for the Norfolk Tides, did not allow an earned run over the last 3, covering 14 and the third innings worked in those games. 1-1 delivery, inside out, foul ball.
Well, he was rushed to the big leagues because if you look at what he did, I mean, he signed in 2012 for a bunch of money out of LSU, one of the better college pitchers. Pitched 15 innings, and then last year, about 81 innings, AA, AAA, right to the big leagues. Learned to pitch at this level last year.
1-2 pitch down to third and foul ball.
And the one thing is when he tightens up the slider, which is what they worked all spring, he got much bigger, probably put on 10, 12 pounds of muscle. And I think one of the things that I learned when I came to the big leagues at 19 is you learn sometimes by getting knocked around a little bit. Hey, what do I have to do to get better? And I think he's certainly aware of what he has to do. If he can pitch down in the strike zone, he can beat anybody.
1-2 delivery on the way. He is still a rookie, still classified as such officially. Has not pitched very much. I mean, 61 minor league innings coming into this year. He had 15 at 2 levels of A ball in 2012, and then 46 and a third at AA Bowie in 2013. 1-2 delivery and a check swing at foul back. The Orioles very cognizant of that, careful about the number of pitches and innings thrown. If you take his college and his minor league numbers, it's 124 innings in 2012. He threw 94 last year between the minors and the majors. Gausman with a 2-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be down low enough in the dirt. Well, the count now is 2-2.
I mean, Gary, I think ideally, if you weren't trying to project him as a number 1 or 2 starter, he could have closed for this team, and Tommy Hunter could have assumed the role that he did. But if you're going to think about getting to the postseason and having a 1 or 2 starter, this is your guy.
That one in the air to right field. Nick Markakis camped under that one. Will put it away. A couple of fly ball outs here in the second inning.
What I find so interesting, the Orioles coming off 2 years. 2 years ago they won 93 games. Last year they won 85. Last year they led the world in home runs with 212. Gave up 202. So how do you get better? And part of what I think we've seen all around baseball is what is the identity of your 2014 club going to be? I mean, who's going to pitch? Who's going to start? And we're finding that out. And
the Orioles have many questions left in that department. Speaking of that, Chris Tillman, who's had a slight groin discomfort, did pitch today, working out in the bullpen, and he said afterward, I'm much better now. He expects to be able to make the start on Friday at Kansas City. He said while it's bothered him a little bit, he said it's not enough to take him out in any way, and it's not painful. It's just that It's a groin discomfort that's been there, and they wanted to check on it today.
Yeah, he's been getting it treated. It's the right leg, it's the one you push off on, and being a right-handed pitcher.
The Tillman will be scheduled to go in Kansas City where the Orioles head after this ball game. They've got 4 games there. Chen, Tillman, Norris, and Jimenez are scheduled to go for the Orioles. Giordano Ventura, Jeremy Guthrie, Danny Duffy, and Jim Shields the other way. And another one fouled off into the seats as Austin Jackson battles away here with 2 down.
Yeah, he's looking for his first hit in this series. Yeah, if you look at Chris Tillman, his last 2 starts, there was a 0-2 fastball to Longoria hit for a 2-run shot, and a first pitch changeup to Castro hit for a 3-run home run. Other than that, he's pitched very well in spite of maybe some groin problems.
Another foul ball by Jackson. So Jackson, the first really to make Kevin Gausman have to throw some pitches here. Fouled off that 97-mile-an-hour fastball. At 31 with 2 down here in the second. Kelly on deck if Jackson keeps it alive. And another one the other way. So he's fouling them off to all sides of the ballpark.
Yeah, when a guy's late on your fastball and you haven't established your slider, it's probably the right pitch to throw here, but maybe Steve Clevenger behind the plate doing the catching saying, I just don't know if we can throw it where we want to. Let's see if he can right here. Just throw it down and away.
7th pitch of the at-bat will be put in the air to center field. Jones going back. He's got it lined up. Kevin Gausman, also a fly ball pitcher, as evidenced by this inning. All 3 fly ball outs, and each of the outfielders got a chance. Cup from Westminster has won $500 for being selected. She'll win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play the Orioles scratch off from the Maryland Lottery. Your chance to be a contestant. Win a trip to see the O's play at Wrigley or the MLB World Series. Learn more mdlottery.com/Orioles. Cruz will be leading it off. Hardy and then Clevenger coming up. It's too bad they don't have any energy. They have been dancing for 3 hours. Just having the time of their lives.
Well, they were learning early, about 11 o'clock, how to predict the weather.
Yes. They just love it.
How about Chelsea Ingram, who's a meteorologist at WJV? What a voice. She sang out the national anthem. Yeah.
Great voice. Did a tremendous job. Nelson Cruz, the DH today, 3 for 22, lifetime off Verlander, who will get the pitch in for a strike.
There's actually a rumor going around the press in the media center that was actually Mark Viviano and she was lip syncing. That was his voice, but I'm not really sure if that's the case.
What kind of rumor is that?
I just heard it.
What? No, so wait a minute. Say that again. What? The rumors what?
That she was actually, that was Mark singing, but she was lip syncing.
She was lip syncing Mark Viviano.
Voice, yes. That was really nice. Either way, I don't know.
Swung on and missed. Verlander gets him on a great breaking ball.
Day game after night game.
I understand. It's dangerous.
Yeah, well, here's to the curveball. First one of the afternoon. And for Tammy Cup, was hoping for home runs. Verlander's only thrown one all year, and this is his 9th start. And that's one of the reasons. About as good a curveball as there is in baseball.
I hear the cottonwoods. Here is Hardy. Hardy's had a 1 for 8 in the series. And the pitch taken away. Now, if anyone's going to hit a home run off Verlander, here he is. He's gone 8 for 31 with 3 home runs. Here's the 1-0. And Verlander will fall behind 2-0.
Yeah, and I had guys like that you know, not only did they hit you with power, and you're trying to make the perfect pitch, and all of a sudden you look up, it's 2 balls and no strikes. Now what? Well, probably won't be a fastball.
And he's after his first home run of the season.
Yeah, and he throws him a changeup. Well, that's how you pitch the guys that wear you out a little bit.
And Hardy with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Orioles trying to even it up here on this homestand. They are 2-3. They've averaged 2.6 runs a game on this homestand with a team average of 246. 2 on delivery. It's trying to get everything together. They have picked up some pretty good pitching. The starters' ERA is 2.94 in the 5 games here at home. The bullpen, though, has jumped up to 6.57, and the offense just hasn't been there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Verlander's delivery, and that will be outside. Count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brad Ausmus. It's not that easy, Brad. It is when you get players like you have.
Well, yeah, and you still got to decide when they're going to play and when they're not. And yeah, I thought you said it so eloquently as you usually do on Monday night. You said, "Hey, what did he tell you?"
Just going to get out of the way.
Right. And a lot of times you do that with good clubs.
3 ball, 2 strike count on Hardy battling Verlander. 31-year-old right-hander delivers, and Hardy will put it in the air to center. Jackson's there, and he's got it. 2 down. Take a look at our Jeep Inside the Numbers, talking about the home offensive woes of the Orioles. I mean, here they are. You see they're 500 at home now. Batting average significantly different. Only 2.9 runs a game at home. The home runs down all over the place for the Orioles. The average runners in scoring position way off their mark. And you look at the bottom, that runs per game at home is last in the majors. Yet they are 500 at home, 9-9. A little tapper down to first and just goes foul. Clevenger.
Yeah, don't think that Justin Verlander didn't observe the 3 hits that Steve Clevenger got on Monday night. Hit a double down the left field line that scored the only Oriole run. He crisply singled to center, and then off the lefty Kroll hit a double up the gap to right center. So you pay attention. See what the count was. Were the balls down? Were they up?
Steve with a 3-game hit streak. Matt Waiters just waits impatiently, and it's tough, and just no idea. He's just resting. No baseball activity at all. And they'll see at the end of 15 days what it looks like. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Problem with the throwing elbow. And a swing and a miss over the top, and again an off-speed pitch.
Well, that's that straight changeup, and he's got a real good one. Hey, if you look at his strikeouts, I mean, the last 4 starts, 7 innings in all of them. And anywhere from 107 to 119 pitches. A season high of 8 strikeouts. That was in game number 3. So he can get you out a lot of different ways. And then we've seen, and this is what I think the Justin Verlander at age 31 can do if he needs to go to the mid-90s. He can still do that. He's got a great windup. I mean, for a big, tall guy, what impresses me is that he gets over his front side so well, throws the ball downhill. Very athletic windup.
His team, the Tigers, are 6-2 in the games he starts. His losses to the Orioles, that was a 3-1 game, and the last outing to the Twins, that was a 2-1 ball game. So if he gets any kind of runs aboard with an ERA of 2.67, he wins. And right there to get him, Clevenger is a strikeout victim. 2 Ks in the inning and in the ball game. We go to the 3rd here at Camden Yards. brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Our day game here at Camden Yards, where the youngsters are going to sleep very well tonight, but it's not nighttime yet.
No. Well, they had the smile cam, and most of them, well, if they knew they were on, were waving. A couple of ducks, actually.
A little more sugar, please. Amp it up.
Well, that's what I call focus right there.
So it keeps the game going. Get them to the ballpark when they're young and come back when they're older. Here is Don Kelly. Kelly getting the start at third base. Only one at bat in the series, 0 for 1. And Gausman's pitch will be outside, maybe a little bit low for a ball. Kelly has played 8 different positions for the Detroit Tigers. The only thing he hasn't done is pitch. Actually caught him.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. That is in there for a strike. Free agent acquisition almost 4 years ago now, and he's just been one of those super utility players.
Well, they love him because he's a great guy, and you know, if you're Max Scherzer, he saved the game for him on Saturday, with a great catch, the face plant against the wall in Detroit. Otherwise, I think it was a 2-1 ball game. And I said, did Max buy you dinner? He said no, but if he wins the ERA title, he's going to probably do more than that.
Yes. A convertible I've always wanted.
Yeah, well, Detroit, whatever you want.
1-2 delivery on the way and came in on him. Kevin Gausman throwing easily here and effectively 95 miles an hour in the last one.
Well, when he came up last year, I still remember the start up in Toronto. Gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, and they can really hit up there. And there's a changeup. It kind of slowed his arm up there, but he had some mechanical problems. So you get to the big leagues, there's no better players, and you just have to figure out how your stuff plays up here. And imagine if he's like any other phenom, he probably always played with the older guys. Had to figure it out as he came up and got older.
That'll go to second base. Jonathan Scope will put that one away, and there's one down. In our Major League Notebook, take a look on the hill. Last night, some pretty impressive performances as Dallas Keuchel with Houston. No runs, 7 hits, a complete game shutout. That was against the Rangers last night. Bronson Arroyo's pitching really well right now. He had a run on 7 hits, 7 Ks against the Nationals. And David Price, maybe best outing of the year, gave up a run, no walks, 12 strikeouts against Seattle in the ball game last night. So some guys on the hill who put it together for their teams last evening.
And how did Price win? Fernando Rodney blew a save in the 9th inning.
Yep. 1-0 count on Brian Holliday. Holliday, the catcher. 1 down, nobody on. Bottom third of the order here. Kevin Gausman's pitch will come inside for a ball. Gausman trying to go through the lineup and retire the first 9.
Yeah, I was wondering, he must have met Jakey Arrieta because they both come from TCU. Good background right there. He's hit fairly well. Not a lot of power in the minor leagues, but
2 ball, 1 strike count. Straight away on the defense against Holliday. And the 2-1 up the middle, over the bag, stop, scope, up, 1 hopper, not in.
What a play.
Great effort by Scope.
Yeah, number 1, he gets there, and he's a big guy. I mean, he's got to be, what, 6'3", 240, and then kind of throws in the ground, but direct line and makes it close. What a play. And look how quickly he's able to get up and be able to control, and then right there, bang, bang.
So there is the first hit for the Tigers of the infield variety for Holliday. And Danny Worth getting the start at shortstop today, making his first appearance in the series at the plate anyway. Romine has been the starting shortstop, and the pitch will be taken for a ball. There are the numbers. Just 17 at bats for Worth. 1-0 count. Short lead at first base for Holliday with Davis holding the bag. Gausman's delivery to him, and that will miss, and the count goes to 2-0. Worth, 28 years old, California native, still lives there. In the majors, a .242 career average. Playing with the Tigers in parts of every season since 2010. Last year, injury plagued, didn't get a lot of games in, and that's going to miss, and he falls behind the number 9 hitter, 3-0.
Yeah, I can't imagine with Davis hitting the way he is, he's going to be swinging here. You'd just love to get him on if you're Brad Ausmus and you're managing the Tigers, but you just never know. But I think this is when you start watching him because of the short rest, and we're getting close to 45 pitches now
taken.
And the one thing I never really thought about, even though I started for almost 20 years, is that a lot of the young pitchers are cognizant how many times you have to get up and down. It's just something I never dwelled on it. You just did it, but I think now, anytime you're ever simulating something, spring training or whatever, you sit there for 10 minutes, then get up.
That's going to be a base hit into right field on the 3-1 count. Markakis will hold the runner at second base, and again the bottom of the order doing damage here. 2 on, 1 out. Win a meet and greet with Buck Showalter from Masson. Just text Masson's word of the day, advance, to 29292 for your chance to win. That's advance to 29292.
Pretty nice
first
hitting.
Two hits of the game here by the number 8 and 9 hitters.
Well, when you don't play a lot, I don't know too many guys that are pull hitters, and so Holiday comes up, hits it back up the middle, and then Worth works the count, and it's one of those classic inside out. I don't get the bat a lot, I'll hit it into right field type of swings, and very effective.
And one of the game's best with runners in scoring position will now come to the plate. Here is Rajah Davis. His .400 batting average is tied for third in the American League. Brett Laurie leads at .419. And the pitch to Davis, inside for a ball. So a 1-0 count. Not speed at second base in Holiday, the lead runner. The outfield moves in a couple of steps in Rajah Davis. Here's the 1-0 delivery by Kevin Gausman. The ball put up in the air. Hardy's back. Will get under it, and the infield fly rule in effect, and Davis is out number 2. So a big out right there to get Rajah Davis. That'll bring up Ian Kinsler. Kinsler has continued to be a real dynamic player against the Orioles on the season. A 2 for 7, but that big 2-home run that took a 2-1 game and made it 4-1 in game number 1 against the Orioles this year. He is 6 for 22 with a homer and 3 RBIs. So Kinsler will stand in, hitting .314 with runners in scoring position. This Tiger team now number 1 in the American League in that department. Orioles at third. That goes off Kevin Gausman. It'll be an infield hit. So a single for Kinsler. Levinger going out to make sure his battery mate's all right.
I'm going to take a look. You try to knock it down, which I think it just gets the left heel, the back of his heel. I would imagine that ball would have gotten into center field. Scope shaded up the middle, but not to that side of the second base part of the infield.
Yeah, that kick probably saved a run.
Yeah, but it does get Cabrera to the plate.
Here we go again. Miguel Cabrera with the bases loaded. 4 grand slams in his career. Cabrera grounded out his first time up in the ballgame. Loaded with the hits by Holiday, Worth, and Kinsler. No score, third inning. And Kevin Gausman a test right here. And a big swing and a miss on the 88-mile-an-hour dipper.
Yeah, well, that's the changeup that goes down like a splitter. If you were a National fan and you look at Steven Strasburg, his changeup at 89 to 91, and has great late life, great movement. Ideally, that would have been the pitch that you would have wanted Cabrera to actually hit, because he would have hit it in the ground somewhere.
Cabrera's 1 for 3 with the bases loaded this year. A single. 0-1 count. Cabrera's got a base hit into left field. Holiday will score. They're going to wave around Worth. Here's the throw, cut off, and he's done it again. Just another chink in the armor for the MVP award winner, and why he might be there again this year. Well, and the Tigers lead 2-0.
When you're only 23 now, look where the target is, and instead of getting it up and in where you tie him up, it's right to his power. All he has to do is drop the bat, and nobody does it better than Miguel Cabrera. It's like he plays pepper. He always, of all the guys that I see hit on a daily basis, knows where the bat head is.
Well, Cabrera again comes through. His batting average with runners in scoring position and 2 down is now over .430 on the year. The Orioles will not be unhappy to know that they will not see him again this year.
That's what I'm saying. Get these guys out of town. And just think about how he got to the plate. Your 8th and 9th hitters get on, and obviously Kevin Gausman, he's a college guy. He knows if you're looking at this lineup, you want to pitch to Martinez, Cabrera when there's nobody on base. And how do you do that? You try to get the guys out in front of him, and the Tigers didn't allow him to do that.
Bottom third has caused problems for the Orioles in that regard here in this series. Here's Martinez, runners at first and second. Cabrera picks up the 2 RBIs, 2 down, and will take the pitch for a strike. In the first ball game of this series, it was Avila hitting in the number 7 spot who drew a walk in the 8th inning that started the inning that had a 2-run homer in it. Then in the ball game last night, it was the single by Avila in the 9th inning that started the rally. And here in this inning, Holiday, the number 8 hitter, and Worth, the number 9 hitter, both have singles. They both scored. And the pitch will be taken away, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Martinez.
And then you get their best average guy to the plate, well over 300 with runners in scoring position, but came in hitting .336.
Well, Victor Martinez, their designated hitter. 2 teams with 2 of the best numbers for DHs, the Orioles and the Tigers. Orioles this year, their DHs hitting .288, have driven in 22. Tigers DHs hitting .308, they have driven in 18. Tigers DHs with 7 home runs, the Orioles with 5, and the primary DH for the Tigers is Victor Martinez. Runners off first and second, and the 1-1 delivery. Ground ball into the shift. Scope will get it on the outfield grass, makes the play, and that will retire the side. So a couple of runs in on 4 hits, 2 left on, and the Tigers take the lead. The Antwerpen quote of the day from the Orioles skipper. He said last night, we just haven't solved their pitching in 2 games. We have to do some things to not create that situation, but I understand where the focus will be when you're one pitch away. A lot of places in that lineup where you have to pick your poison. Not many good decisions. Visit our new Route 32 Clarksville facility all month. Antwerpen will beat any competing offer on your trade-in. Hurry in today. And trying to solve Verlander here in this one. And that one bouncing off the top of the glove. Jonathan Scope low, and then Markakis. Coming into the ball game, in the 5 games these teams have played, the Orioles batting average against Tiger pitching is .224. Tigers have hit .282 against the Orioles. 1-0 delivery, and that'll be away. 2-0.
Well, Buck Showalter musing today. He said, "What offense comes and goes, defense, attitude, effort doesn't. They don't go into slumps, and the starters shouldn't either if you have quality, and the Tigers have quality. There's no doubt about that."
And that pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner.
I mean, you're seeing a guy at 31 years old used to throw close to 100. Now it's about changing speeds and dotting the corners with all 3 pitches.
Scope will go up the middle. Kinsler will haul it in. 1 down here in the 3rd inning. Orioles going to be back in town starting Thursday, May 22, a 4-game weekend homestand against the Indians. Don't miss the season's next fireworks night. All fans will enjoy that great display after the ball game. Game at 7:05. Celebrate summer, Oriole Park. Go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BREWER. So 1 away. Orioles have a base hit by Jones, a single, the only one. Lowe playing left. 2 for 16. Lifetime on Verlander.
Yeah, and for David Lowe, who, I mean, just a matter of getting on, and if you play him deep like Cabrera's at first, that's why he has to learn how to bunt. I mean, there's no way a first baseman with your kind of speed should be playing as deep as Cabrera is, because if he gets on, it can be a double. Yet they play him back. You can see those are the numbers for Verlander, 3 earned runs or less. So he's been very good. He's lost 3-1, 2-1.
Verlander not happy with the last call. Cook took a couple of steps in as the count goes to 2-0 on Lowe. John Tumpain, the home plate umpire. Here's the 3-0 coming, and that will be in there for a strike. Verlander realizing, look, I got a number 9 hitter here who hasn't hit against me and hasn't had many at bats. I can't put him on.
No, and he doesn't want to put him on because he knows he can run. So a single or a walk's a double.
3-1 delivery, and that's a strike.
And that's why he's going to make every effort to make him put the ball in play. And that's why David Lowe should be hitting better than he is. I mean, ever since spring training, they've been trying to get him to level up the swing, something he did so well with Kansas City. Stop hitting the ball in the air.
3-2 pitch to him, and he walked him. So there's the first walk by an upset Verlander that he did that, and the Orioles get a base runner here with 1 down, and they turn the lineup over.
Well, and it opens up holes, and that's one of the things you don't want as a pitcher. Now all of a sudden, because of Lowe's speed, Cabrera's going to have to hold him on. I mean, you get this huge a little gap between the first baseman and the second baseman. And then you get Kinsler, who's probably going to play a little bit more up the middle. So hard in this ballpark sometimes create the first and thirds because it's so shallow, but it's certainly easy to get a ball into right field if you hook it.
So Verlander will start making the tosses over on Lowe. See whether or not the Orioles want to send him with Markakis up at the plate. Orioles on the season, 12 stolen bases, 12 for 17. Compare that with the Tigers, who have stolen 32 on the year. Lowe, he'll go back on the step off. Lowe's got 4 for 4. Nick Markakis flied out his first time up, 267 lifetime hitter off Verlander. Lowe's lead only about a step and a half. Nick waiting for a pitch. Gets one. It'll be in the dirt. Holiday with a nice block. Markakis now 7th in hits in the American League coming into today's play. Cabrera of Toronto leads with 55. Markakis with 46. Ian Kinsler of Detroit also in that top 10. He is 10th in hits with 45 starting the day, and he's added one to it. And another one, Verlander again dropping that one on top of the plate, 2-0. Verlander, for as great as he is, follows the book on those numbers we talk about. If he gets the first strike, hitters hit 179. If the first pitch is a ball, 316. That's a big difference.
Yeah, it really is. Well, he has to pitch more in the middle of the plate. I mean, he'll throw his off-speed stuff in any count. I mean, there's a fastball, and I think Nick might have been sitting on a changeup because that's a home run fastball at 91. I mean, middle of the plate. The 18-game hitting streak, a couple of home runs in the midst of that.
Verlander's thrown 44 pitches. Low back to the bag. See Cabrera continuing to hold that tag on over there. Part of it he's just playing with the guy's butt. You really got to be aware of that.
Well, then you should be calling timeout every time you slide back in, because that would annoy me if I was a base runner. Guy having that big, putting a hand on you all the time.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Markakis will foul it back. We've already seen one play this year with a runner tagged out, going back to the bag, facing the outfield, and the first baseman just held the ball. He wasn't tagging him multiple times, but the runner stepped off to dust off his pants, and the guy just tagged him, and he was out because he didn't call timeout. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Of course, he could lean on you and knock you off the bag. That's how big he is.
It's been known to happen before in baseball. 2-2. One down. Markakis waiting on it, and he'll foul it back again. Well, that'll hold the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Orioles working Verlander in this ball game so far. First time through the lineup. Even though they trail 2-0 and have only 1 base hit. Lowe has not extended his lead. Markakis, a comebacker, goes off the glove of Verlander. Kinsler will get the out, and it will be a 1-4-3 with Lowe moving down to second base. And it's time for all fans to tweet their photo using hashtag #MassinFanPhotos for a chance to have it shown in a future broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. 2 down, runner at second base. The Orioles an 0-for-12 with runners in scoring position in the first 2 games of this series. Here's their first chance in this game, and it will go to Manny Machado. Orioles now 3rd in the league at 272 as a team, so dipping under that 300 mark they had held to for the first month.
Yeah, Verlander's at 244, which is about 17 points lower than the league average. 239 career runners in scoring position numbers, which tells you why he's 141 and 79.
Yeah. There is the Oriole runner, David Lowe. 0-1 delivery. Check swing. Did he go? Yep. Colin Hart down at first base. Manny Machado, not a lot of chances with runners in scoring position. Only 1 for 6. Manny now up to 47 at bats. This is his 13th game since coming off the DL. 0-2. Machado fouls it away.
Yeah, see, all of a sudden we see 94. Isn't it amazing how he can just same windup, speed up the arm. You don't do it with your body. You just get the arm out in front a little bit quicker. Still throw downhill, because he does not like to give up runs. That's what good pitchers do. What are you allergic to? Giving up runs?
He gets angry about it on the mound. 0-2. Machado waiting on it, and a swing and a miss, and the tag out just to make sure. So Verlander gets his third strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. 3 complete with the Tigers up. Benny DiStefano became the first left-handed catcher to play in the majors in 9 years. Mike Squires had been the last one with the White Sox in 1980. And in 1881, born in Plains, Pennsylvania, Ed Walsh, a member of the Hall of Fame. Walsh, a tremendous pitcher. He was in an era when you could throw the spitball, and that's what he did. And you see the numbers that he put up. And he is credited with the lowest career ERA ever at 1.82. It's unofficial, though, because it didn't become an official stat until 1913. Ed Walsh.
40 and 50.
Speaking of Ed Walsh, Jim, did you know Ed Walsh is here? That is Ed Walsh right there. Right there. Named after the great pitcher, our great cameraman.
Yeah, we got to check the lens for fingerprints and stuff for all those spitters.
Here's J.D. Martinez, who will take it inside. I was looking at left-handed catcher numbers. The all-time record for games played by left-handed catchers, Jack Clements. He caught over 1,000 games left-handed in 1884, between 1884 and 1900. Fergie Malone caught 27 in 1871. There've only been about 4.
What is it? The theory that there's more right-handed hitters than left-handed hitters?
Well, what's that got to do with anything?
Well, I don't know.
2-1 delivery, swung on a miss. I get a personal aggravation on that.
Well, no, I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
But why?
I was a left-handed catcher in high school and college. And everybody said you can't do it. And I said, why am I going to hit the batter's head any more than the guy?
Well, that's my point. Why?
There's no reason.
What is the reason?
There isn't one. Fouled off. There is no reason. That's the one you always say, well, you're going to hit the batter in the head. Well, no, you're not. You're not going to hit the batter in the head any more than the right-handed guy is going to hit the batter in the other box. The main reason is you can't buy left-handed catcher's mitts.
Well, that would be a drawback, I would suppose.
You have to have him made inside on a heater at 94.
And yeah, that's where he wanted to go to Miguel Cabrera last inning and didn't.
Martinez flied out his first time up. 3 ball, 2 strike count. And that will be a walk, the first surrendered by Kevin Gausman, and it is a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning. On Sunday, May 25, the Orioles will have the Indians here at 1:35, and the first 20,000 fans, 15 and over, will get the Orioles Ripcord bracelet. Celebrate Memorial Day weekend with this fun new promotions item made right here in the U.S. of A. A new Birdland memory for the 60th anniversary season. Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD for tickets. So the leadoff man on, and here is Jackson, who flied out his first time up, goes down to third, backhanded. Manny Machado, Jonathan Stoke, Chris Davis off the bag, throw goes off the facade. And staying at first base will be Jackson. It'll be a fielder's choice.
Yeah, they almost turned this. A bad hop. You think it might get by Manny Machado. who won the Platinum Glove. That's how the ball gets up a little bit, and then the strong arm just a little bit off, and Chris Davis can't get it. The Orioles get a break as it doesn't go into the stands.
Manny Machado, look, he's checking a fingernail.
I thought that actually Martinez got down there pretty quickly.
Jonathan Scope, brother. So.
Yeah, I don't know if Scope actually hit him.
Richie Van Zels and Buck Showalter will head out.
Yeah, I'm wondering, Martinez, you're watching him before this play. He doesn't steal a lot of bases. He's a big guy, but he gets a great lead. So how close does he get? And I don't know if he maybe hit the top of his helmet. No. So somehow he cut his finger, but there's no contact.
They're going to get cleaned up, get the Band-Aid put on. He wants to take the baseball, make sure he can still throw okay.
But that young man, a manicure.
Looked like probably when the ball came to him, instead of getting it all in the glove, he got it on the fingers.
Maybe caught a nail or whatever.
So Scope will stay in. And a runner on at first base in Jackson with one down. Jackson 5 out of 6 stealing bases. And Gosman will keep an eye. Here in the 4th inning, the Tigers 2-4-0. They've left 2. The Orioles 0-1-0. They have left 2. Adam Jones, a base hit first inning, is the only hit the Orioles have. And here's Don Kelly. Again, we get towards that bottom part of the order, which kick-started the 3rd inning, and the bases loaded 2 RBI single that would come later from Cabrera. Pretty good lead for Jackson, leaning, not going, and the pitch will be inside for a ball.
Well, they all get, with the exception of Victor Martinez and Miguel Cabrera, almost everybody gets a very aggressive lead. Even the guys that aren't going to steal bases, because if you're not stealing a base, you can still break a double play. You can still get a good secondary lead, scoring a double, or get to third base with less than 2 outs, make it easier for the next guy to drive you in.
Kevin Gosman will miss outside. And will fall behind 2-0, 91 miles an hour on that one.
So we've seen him at 92 to 96, maybe 1 at 97 today.
Keep in mind now his high this season, 77 pitches, averaging 72. He's thrown 65. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's going to be down low. And now struggling with the strike zone, 3-0.
And that's on normal rest. So he gets and it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but it probably wouldn't be if you did it on a regular basis, but they don't.
Pitched on Saturday, 4 2/3 innings. 3-0 delivery taken. It's a strike.
And Don Kelly's trying to get something that he can pull. A huge hole over there. You have speed. Nick Markakis, you can see, not playing that deep in right field, so it's sometimes hard to get a runner all the way to third.
That's in there. So Gosman comes back on him after falling behind with a 3-0. Full count now, 3-2 on Kelly with Holiday on deck.
So now they will run. We saw him try to do it last night. Joseph threw out 2 of them, but you have speed down. Stay out of the double play.
Here 3-2, runner goes, swung on and foul back. So it will stay 3-2.
And it's very easy to get a jump. You have a guy that's already, as you mentioned, Gary, stolen 5 out of 6. So if you're Kevin Gosman, you can't rush your delivery and try to do a slide step unless you know you can throw a strike, because otherwise it's ball 4. And they get exactly what they want.
See if a throw over comes here. Try and catch him leaning. Nope, runner goes. Again, put up in the air, down the line, left field, low. Can't get there, neither can anybody else. Fan did. And a third 3-2 pitch is going to have to be delivered. Tigers have been red hot. They've won 7 of their last 10. They've won their last 7 road games and have improved their record now on the road to 10-4. And they are really pretty much clicking on all cylinders right now, trying to sweep the Orioles. 3-2 count again, and that's ball 4. Doug Osmond in some trouble here now. 2 on, 1 out, and 2 walks in the inning. Brian Holliday coming up, a base hit and a run scored in the 3rd for Holliday, the catcher. First time he's gotten to the plate in this game for the series. He had been a defensive replacement. Holliday's had only 13 games played, only 30 at bats. And the pitch to him, an off-speed delivery in the inside corner for a strike. And Gausman trying to work through the inning. The Tigers 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position, all coming in the 3rd. And Cabrera got that 2 RBI base hit.
Well, he needs to make a pitch here. Needs to get a ground ball. Turn 2. Get out of the inning.
Clevenger wants a timeout, and that was Clevenger who asked for it. Put his arm up. He was getting instructions from the dugout. And
well, maybe to pay attention to Austin Jackson. I mean, Scope playing fairly close at second to keep him from stealing, or maybe they saw something that Jackson might be relaying what kind of pitch it is. Looking in at bench coach John Russell, former catcher.
Oh, 1 count, 1 away. Jackson, the lead runner. That'll be in the dirt. Clevenger will make the stop on it. And the count goes to 1-1. The 23-year-old debut this season for the Orioles, called up to start this ball game. Miguel Gonzalez in the bullpen as needed, not knowing how far Gausman would be able to go. Sitting alone over in the chair away from the rest of the dugout, nearest to the mound, bullpen mound. And inside out, fouls it back over the screen. No play. Gausman working on him. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And the pitch count piling up here in this inning, up to 74 now. One, 2 count. Jackson, Kelly, the base runners. Clevenger wants it inside. Runners go. Double steal. They'll get it.
Well, there goes the double play. No longer in order. And I mean, this is what Brad Osmond, I mean, a former catcher, he was a terrific one. I mean, played 18 years. He knows the kind of pressure you can put on in a defense. And for Steve Clevenger, you want to make sure you make a good throw. The ball was down and in, so he had to catch it and step behind the batter.
And now the infield has to move in.
Yeah, well,
they have to, but they're going to. 2 ball, 2 strike count, 1 away. Trying to cut this run off if they can. And Jackson, see if he goes on contact. If it is hit on the ground, it isn't. It goes to right center for a base hit. That will score Jackson. Kelly's going to make the turn. He'll be held at 3rd. Throw to the cutoff man Davis, and bottom of the order doing it again. Holliday will pick up the base hit. RBI is 5th, and he's 2 for 2 in the game, and a 3-0 Tiger lead.
Yeah, he just gets a good pitch to hit. So the approach by Brian Holiday both times back up the middle. And there is Miguel Gonzalez.
It was the third inning where the Tigers got 2 runs on 4 hits. And here they have added another on just 1 hit but 2 walks. And number 9, Danny Worth, coming up. Worth a single. He's got a run scored. Tigers are doing all this on singles, but they are getting runners on base.
Well, you still have to be aware of the fact that Danny Worth might try to push a bunt. Good speed with Kelly at third. Anything to get more runs for your starting pitcher.
Double play depth. He does indeed. Down to first. Davis. There's nobody there. Nobody there. Ball will get away. Runner will stay at second.
Yeah, well, you can almost see that coming if you've been around the game. And I mean, that's good baseball. You have guys in hitting 8th and 9th that don't, as we mentioned, don't play. So what can you do to help us win? For Worth, you know, very good defender right here. I mean, it's first and third. I don't want to stay hitting a double play. I'll just push the ball down the first base line because I can, and they're playing back. And then, as you mentioned, nobody's over at the base.
So Kelly will score. It will be an RBI for Danny Worth. And the bottom third of this order now has scored 3 runs. They have been on base 5 out of 6 at bats, plate appearances. Runners at first and second, 1 out. And up in the air, Rajah Davis, who has struck out and popped out. For Worth, RBI number 5, coming in with only 17 at bats and gets the bunt single.
Yeah, you look at this lineup and you think, well, you know, it's all about Cabrera and Martinez, but they have what, 5 players with 19 RBIs or more, so a lot of balance and a lot of speed when you look at guys like Davis.
0-1 delivery. That'll be fouled off. Ends up outside of third. Davis looking for his first hit of the series. He is 0 for 5. Rajah Davis. So the stolen base mattered as Jackson got his 6th. Kelly got his 2nd. Putting runners at second and third for the single by Holiday for the RBI. And then first and third for the bunt single by Worth. Gosselin to the 0-2 delivery, and that'll bounce, get away. Runner's going to go to third. That'll be a wild pitch charge. And Holiday is now at third base. And for Kevin Gausman, close to the end.
Yeah, just trying to get him to wave at a slider, but he bounces it. And again, very attentive base running by the Tigers.
81 pitches thrown, the most he's thrown this year in a ball game. 77 is high at Norfolk. Rajah Davis, a 1-ball 2-strike count. First and third. Davis will take it to center field. Runner's going to tag right at Jones. Holiday will come. Here's the throw by Adam all the way through, not in time. And Davis will pick up the sac fly. And the Tigers increase their lead to 5-0.
Yeah, a couple of singles, couple of walks, one of them a bunt, sacrifice fly with your Rajah Davis. Last year he really struggled against righties, but because of the Dirks injury to his back, he gets to play and does exactly what you want to do with a runner in third, less than 2 outs. Put the ball in the air. There's your 5th run.
And he's got 11 RBIs. Nick Showalter checking on Gonzalez, who's been throwing in the bullpen. With 2 down, trying to let Gausman get out of this inning. Ian Kinsler is single. He's 1 for 2. Swing at first pitches. Kent tied for second in the American League with 16 multi-hit games. 25 runs scored. That's 8th best. And his 45 hits, 9th. Here's the 1-0 delivery. And that will be in the dirt. And it goes to 2-0. Ian Kinsler, 2-0 count, 2 down. Tigers trying to sweep the Orioles in a 3-game set. They haven't done that here at Camden Yards since 2005. They did sweep a series in Detroit. After that, foul back into the screen. And a 2-ball 1-strike count on Kinsler. On the road tomorrow, the Orioles open up that series in Kansas City. 7:30 goes extra. 8 o'clock. Wei-Yin Chen, Giordano Ventura, the scheduled starters for game 1. 2-1 delivery on the way. Kinsler with a great eye leans out, takes it. 3-1.
And it doesn't get a whole lot easier when it comes to scoring runs with the Royals 4th in the American League. Huge ballpark in pitching. 13th in runs. So they have, and they're back to 500 at least for the moment at 19-19.
Here's the 3-1 delivery. Kinsler puts it in the air. Jones going back. Adam Jones has it lined up, and Kinsler is retired. But 3 runs in the inning, and the Tigers add to it to go 5-0. Today, 5 runs, 6 hits off him. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you. Jim, what'd you see?
Well, I saw a guy that threw the ball pretty well early on. Velocity went down. Still, the slider has to get a little bit better, but I think it's a hard read because of the short day rest. And I don't, even this last night, I said, I'm not sure this is going to be a win-win situation for either the Orioles or Kevin, because they're asking him to do something he hasn't done. I'm not the general manager or whatever. This kid could do anything as long as he's doing it on a regular basis. So you bring him up. I guess a lot of people say this is going to reflect on, on Miguel Gonzalez, because he was going to be his start, or was going to be Chen's start, or whatever. But I've been around the game long enough. When you don't score runs, and I had 511 starts, you look pretty bad when you give up 4, and that's what happened today. The club looks like it's lethargic, but that's not the case. When you're not scoring runs, and the Tigers are as good as they are, it is tough to look good.
And you're trying to do that against Verlander, one of the game's best pitchers, and you've only been getting a run a ball game for the last 3.
Well, right, and they averaged over the course of his career as a Tiger 5.43 runs, and they just about got that for him today, and that's why he's 141 and 149 and 71. I mean, he's just lights out when you give him run support.
No, the Orioles have to battle from behind here. They got plenty of time left in the ball game, only in the 4th inning. Verlander working to Jones, who picked up the base hit in the first, the only Orioles hit in the game. Now a 9-game hit streak for Adam. And Verlander at 53 pitches thrown so far in the ball game.
And they really haven't been able to get him into trouble, and when he did, he went to another gear.
1 ball, 2 strike count for Adam Jones, to be followed by Davis and then Cruz, the middle part of the order. Orioles with the 2 or fewer runs over the last 3 ball games. 1-2 delivery on the way. Jones double clutched and fouls it off. Mass and Steve Molesky went back to take a look, to see when the last time the Orioles did it 4 times in a row. That was 2010 is the last time the Orioles have had 4 consecutive games in which they have scored 2 or fewer runs. 1 ball, 2 strike count. This Tigers starting staff, which we've talked so much about, as you would expect, the top of the majors. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and Adam goes to first base. Cabrera, oh my gosh. Ole, ole. Look what I found. And records the out.
Big guy, big glove.
Take a look at our PNC minor league report, brought to you by PNC Bank for the achiever in you.
Well, it looks. I like Tim Berry. I saw him throw in spring training when they first got down there, and then he pitched a couple of innings in one of our spring training games. Was overpowering fastball, curveball, changeup. He had an elbow problem, Tommy John, in high school, so they actually got him up in the draft, but he should have gone a lot lower. And I cannot imagine if he stays healthy, he's not going to be pitching in the big leagues with his repertoire. It reminded me a little bit of Drew Smiley, who pitched so well for the Tigers.
Here is Chris. Chris Davis grounded out.
You like him breathing and left-handed?
Yes. Thank you. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Preferably in that order.
Well, that's what that's the old Pete Rose quote when he was managing. Well, among other things, but when he was managing, if you're breathing and you're left-handed, you get a chance to get lefties out. That's why I was a switch hitter.
2-0 delivery on the way. Davis chasing a Verlander pitch. The Tigers staff we were talking about, their ERA is .266 for their starters. That is the best in the American League. Opponent batting average is .225. That is second in the American League.
And they're going to get Sanchez back, Anibal Sanchez, who led the American League in ERA at .267 last year. He's had the blister problems. And this year, last year they were 76 and 44 with a .344 ERA, which was the best in the American League.
Their starters take the bulk of wins and losses. They're 17 and 8 this year, their starters. And Davis is going to draw a walk. So with 1 away, the Orioles pick up a walk here in the 4th. It's the second to be surrendered by Verlander in the ball game. And Cruz coming up. Cruz, a strikeout victim, his first time to the plate.
And went down on a really good curveball.
Nelson starts the day tied for second in home runs with Bautista. Pujols also with 10, and in RBIs, and he's got 30 coming into the ball game, tied for 4th. 1-0 count. Nelson now with the 3 hits and 23 at bats, lifetime off Verlander. Chris Davis held by Cabrera at first. Verlander a step off and a look over.
Yeah, well, Nelson carried the Orioles, and he had a little bit of help, but anytime you drive in 24 runs in 22 games, what is that about?
That was behind him, and a warning is being issued.
Well, what is this about?
Tom Payne, the home plate umpire, has issued a warning. Here comes Buck Showalter.
You're not telling me this is about Torrey Hunter. This is so silly, and this is so obvious. You should throw him out of the game. If Norris got thrown out for hitting Hunter, that is so obvious. You're trying to win. That's just silly. It's not the way you're supposed to play the game.
Bob Davidson is the crew chief at third base. Buck is talking with the young home plate umpire.
Well, he can read minds because he said it was obvious that Bud Norris was thrown at Hunter after he gave up the home run. What was that?
And Brad Ausmus coming out now to ask about the warning issued to each team.
Well, it does get a runner in scoring position after the walk.
Second wild pitch by Verlander in the year. And a runner goes to second with 1 out. Now Cruz, you answer that with an RBI. And a roller up the middle. Nice play. Worth off the bag. It'll be an infield hit.
Yeah, that or a big inning. You know the last thing Justin Verlander wanted to do was walk Chris Davis with a 5-0 lead, but he did. And then right here's another curveball. And Worth makes a nice play getting to it, but a very difficult throw. Cabrera with a very, very wise choice coming off the bag to make sure it doesn't get by him.
So we add a little more excitement to this series. Orioles trailing 5-0. Get a runner over to third base for the first time in the ball game.
Yeah, this has been a series where the Tigers have been able to get Cabrera to the plate when they want to, and you talked about Hardy with 3 lifetime home runs, so maybe just one swing that gets the Orioles back on track offensively.
He'll pop that one up. Coming back. Holiday with room and will make the catch. A big out as Hardy is retired, and there are 2 down here in the 4th inning.
And then Verlander goes to another gear again. Perfect pitch in on his fist to get the pop up.
Clevenger coming to the plate. A strikeout victim. Only time up. 1st and 3rd and 2 down. Base hit here would put the Orioles on the board. Verlander's pitch to him. That'll be in the dirt. Holiday moving inside to block it.
Yeah, they're going to see if Steve Clevenger can hit the off-speed stuff. One of the rites of passage of a young hitter, especially when you get 3 hits on Monday. That's the story of today's game.
Yeah. So numbers that matter. I mean, those big hits, that's where the runs come from. Orioles only 1 for 15 in this series. 1-0 delivery. Clevenger will foul it back.
There's the changeup. So curveball changeup. The whole intent is with young hitters is make them cognizant of your off-speed stuff, and maybe it'll. Because most of the guys to get to the big leagues can hit the fastball, but when you start changing speeds and pitching in off the plate and getting them to think a little bit, can they slow the game down a little bit?
Runners off 1st and 3rd. Another breaking ball comes inside. Another good stop made by Holiday. 2-1. Brian Holiday moving around behind the plate as he catches Verlander. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Verlander, a bundle of energy on the mound, always moving around. Works quickly. 2-1. Step off. Gonzalez ready to go in the bullpen for the Orioles. We'd like to get some runs here. And Clevenger on the big swing again. That pitch down and into him.
Anything but the fastball, Gary. That's 4 straight breaking balls or changeups.
And takes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two delivery on the way. Clevenger will keep it alive as he fouls that one back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Walk to Davis. Single by Cruz. 2 base runners on for the Orioles. Orioles 2 singles in the game so far. Grounded to short. Got to force it second. And that's where Worth will go. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Tigers on top. Gausman's day is done, and he works pretty much as expected here. 4 innings in the ball game, and there's his final line.
Yeah. You know, Cabrera gets the big hit, and then the bottom of the order does a little bit of numbers, and it wasn't a horrible outing. The problem is that when you give up 5 runs, however they got it, and your team gets blanked, it just doesn't look good. And with that,
Orioles go to the bullpen on our Jiffy Lube pitching change. The Orioles can check this pitching change off their to-do list. Time for you to check oil change off yours. Come into Jiffy Lube and help keep your vehicle running longer.
Miguel Gonzalez comes on. You can see the 7 games are all starts, 1 and 3. You know, he started out, his first start was in Detroit, wasn't very good, real cold day, and probably his best start ever, or not ever, but of the season was the last one against Houston, but the blown save by Tommy Hunter on Saturday night. So he has pitched better as of late. They have not scored a lot of runs for him. Not the only Orioles starter. In fact, the only guys that do really get runs are Tillman and Chen's over 7 a game. So Miguel comes in. You know, he came to the big leagues out of the bullpen, so we'll see how he does. Certainly capable of keeping the scoreboard right where it is.
Now, this is his first relief appearance this season. He had 2 relief appearances last year. Last outing, no decision against the Astros with a 2-run, 6 hits over 7 innings. So Miguel Gonzalez, as the Orioles go to the 2-starter day, as was planned, Guzman and Gonzalez. Miguel Cabrera, big 2 RBI base hit in the 3rd inning, 1 for 2 in the game. He's got a 6-game hit streak now, and he'll go up after 1 and foul it off. For Gonzalez, this will be his 6th appearance at the major league level as a reliever. Officially put into the bullpen for the ball game today. And where this all goes, nobody knows as far as the rotation and who's in the pen and who's not. Over the top of that one, 1 and 2. This is going to be a kind of a day-to-day, series-to-series thing now with Buck Showalter as to who's starting and who's relieving. Not that that's any much of a change from the way most of last season went with all the pitchers used. 1-2 count. Cabrera, Martinez, Victor, and then J.D. Martinez. Gonzalez's pitch will bounce outside. Cabrera now with a 12-game hit streak against the Orioles with that base hit he got in the 3rd inning. 2-2 pitch to him. He'll go to second base. Scope right there. And that will be an out here in the 5th inning. As promised earlier in the game, our AT&T's fan photo. A couple of the ladies enjoying the ball game. A ball game. And a lot doing it here today. Real good crowd for this day game. That'll bring up Victor Martinez. Martinez with a 1 for 5 lifetime off Gonzalez. Gonzalez has really held the lefties down 205, but the right-handers are hitting 364. He's given up 6 home runs, 4 of those hit by right-handers.
Well, he's much better to his glove side. In other words, it's into lefties, down to righties. And if we watch his windup, it's gotten a little bit better, especially since opening day. But watch his left shoulder. Does it get closed? It doesn't really. So his angle is right to the inside corner. Now he's moved over on the rubber. He started the season way over that first game in Detroit where he struggled. He was way over on the first base side. So they've made those adjustments. And I think his stuff is a lot better. He's got 4 pitches. But against the right-handers, he can't throw the ball inside. If you go left, it's very hard to run the ball into righties. So that's why his angles are so much better to left-handers, which is why I think the numbers are that much lower.
2-0 delivery on the way, and we'll miss on that, and the count goes to 3-0. Gonzalez gave up the 7 runs, 9 hits, and 3 in the 3rd innings in that ball game against the Tigers in Detroit earlier this year. He has an 0-2 record in 3 starts lifetime against the Tigers. They've hit him at a 349 clip. And that's on the inside corner for a strike. So the count goes to 3-1.
Just a two-seamer. You can see the target, but he misses by about 14 inches, but he gets the strike.
Miguel Gonzalez on in relief. The shift on against Victor Martinez. And he will get the walk. So Gonzalez, a 1-out walk here in the 5th. Voting for the All-Star game is underway. You can vote at Orioles.com/vote-orange. Vote up to 35 times. All fans will vote at least 25 and select the O's as their favorite team. Get a voucher good for $10 off any box seat, $5 off any reserve for games against the Angels at the end of July. One lucky fan who votes 35 times will get the All-Star game jersey autographed by the Orioles All-Stars. Orioles.com/vote-orange. J.D. Martinez a walk, and he has flied out. Gonzalez with one away, off-speed breaking ball, and that will be in there for a strike. Real tight ball games decided at the end in games 1 and 2 of this series. The Tigers in this one jumping out to the 5-0 lead. Orioles winning 4-1 each of the first. The Tigers winning 4-1. Right back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez will go to second and throws it into center field. And that'll be an error on the pitcher.
Yeah, boy, it really doesn't matter how much experience you have or whatever and how many drills you do if you forget that the most important thing is to keep your feet underneath you and hands together. I mean, he just separates his hands, and when he does, he over-rotates. You just have to take an extra step. Don't rush. Hit J.J. Hardy. If you get one, fine. You got to, and by throwing it away, you just give them a chance to have a big inning again.
Detroit's 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Here's Jackson. Hit into a fielder's choice, stole a base and scored last time up. 0 for 2. And he will take the pitch outside for a ball. For the Orioles, committing their 19th error. Came into the ball game second in fielding percentage in the American League. So far, not a very pretty day for the O's.
Not anything in any respect that they've done well.
Nope. Swung on a miss and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
So if you're going to go out there and start, and I mean, in fairness to Miguel, the only bad outing he really had was the first one against the Tigers. Did not pitch well. It was a cold day. Other than that, he's kept the Orioles in all the games, and they just haven't scored a lot of runs. But the scouts tell the teams that he's going to pitch against what he can do and what he can't do. So if all your balls are more comfortably into lefties, away to right-handers, every hitter says, you know what, don't even look inside. And when he first came up, one of his great strengths, because he could get a little bit more closed, was to be able to throw the ball inside and to both sides of the plate against righties and lefties, and he'd gotten away from that. So it's just something, as long as he's healthy, that he should need to get back to. Now right here you think, boy, you're just going to run a fastball underneath his hands. It's 1-2. You can strike him out. He's just not comfortable doing that.
Jackson is 3 for 3 with a home run off Gonzalez. Runners off first and second. 1-2 delivery, and that will be outside. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Orioles may well think about never playing a day game again. Day games just are not satisfying to them this year. They are 5-9 in day games this year, and the worst day of the week has been Sunday.
And then the Tigers, only the Twins with 12 day wins. The Tigers have 11, trying to make it 12.
2-2 delivery on the way. Jammed him. Center field. Jones with the runners halfway won't have to make a throw. He'll come back into second base. So Jackson is retired, and there are 2 down here in the 5th. That'll bring up Don Kelly. Kelly, their third baseman, a walk and a run scored, and he lined out to second base. Cabrera got a bases loaded single in the 3rd inning, 2 RBIs. In the 4th inning, Brian Holiday, RBI base hit. Raja Davis, RBI sac fly. Danny Worth, an RBI base hit for the 5 runs. Kelly 1 for 5 off Gonzalez. And he will stand in with Victor Martinez and J.D. Martinez, the base runners. 2 down. And the pitch down low for a ball. Orioles heading to Kansas City. Kansas City's home today against Colorado. They've just started their day game.
Yeah, James Shields beat the Rockies 5-1. 1,500 strikeout career milestone for him. The Orioles will see him on, as you mentioned, Sunday.
Did go around on it. Strike called.
Yeah, that's the split finger fastball. That's the strikeout ground ball pitch for Miguel.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Kelly taking a walk after that half cut. Gonzalez, the 1-1 delivery. And another off speed pitch at 74 will miss away. And the count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, for Miguel, I mean, 216 with runners in scoring position. Didn't give up a lot of home runs, but did give up 4 of the home runs he's given up in the first 2 games and then settled down. So.
And falls behind here. 3 balls and 1 strike. Quiet bench. 3-1. And Kelly's going to get a base hit into center field. Off on the fly was Martinez. Here's the throw coming to the plate. Nope, they go to third and get the out. The run does count, however. It crossed before the out was recorded. So Victor Martinez scores. Kelly, the RBI base hit. The out on J.D. Martinez at third. On Masson is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by Luna. For beautiful new carpet, hardwood, and laminate, call 877-241-LUNA. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you. That is an unearned run scored by the Tigers in the 5th inning as the throwing error by Gonzalez to second base helped set the inning up. And a 6-0 lead for the Tigers with Verlander, their starter, ready to go against Jonathan Scope, David Lowe, and Nick Markakis. The 6-7-0 line for the Tigers. They've left 4. The Orioles 0-2-1. They've left 4. Scope lined out, and will take the breaking ball inside. Verlander at 72 pitches thrown after his 5th win. He's 4-2. Ball club in the starts, 6 wins, 2 losses. In the air, center field, going back. Jackson has it lined up. The Orioles thank the 2014 American Heart Association Baltimore Heartball signature sponsors SunTrust and Johns Hopkins Medicine, whose support for the event helped raise $700,000 to fight heart disease. Find out how you can fight heart disease and how you can contribute. Orioles.com/AHA. Lowe drew a walk, one of two surrendered by Verlander in the game. One up in the air outside of third, and there'll be no play.
Yeah, how about Verlander? And he's done it again. He came in, and I liked this number when I was pitching. I know you like it as a broadcaster. 80% of first batters of innings pitched.
He gets the leadoff guys out.
And that number's gone up today.
He's gotten them all. 0-1 delivery, and Verlander in there with a strike.
I know this sounds strange, but when I came to the major leagues, I was a little bit wild. I had walked 130 and 129 innings in A-ball.
Somewhat.
So, yeah, you know, and didn't try to do it, but I could. And my theory was if I got the first guy out, I could walk the bases loaded and still get out of the inning. Double play ball. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. But if you didn't get the first guy out and then you walked the bases loaded, you were in trouble.
Well, it's a run in somehow.
So it was, you know, and then I would meet Earl Weaver with a negative positive, and I would realize I've been always thinking very positive thoughts. Get the first guy out, walk the bases loaded, and you're not in trouble.
1-2 delivery.
Yeah, one pitch, you're out of there.
Well, it's true.
I know.
It may sound strange, but it's true.
Well, when you're wild and you're 19 and you have no idea where the ball's going sometimes, you've got to grasp for straws. And that was one of my...
I like it. I like that. Well, it does. One thing it does do, it points out the importance of getting the lead off. It changes everything.
Yeah, it really does.
Really in an inning. 1-2 delivery, and that's going to go to center field for a base hit. So Lowe just laid the bat on that one. Yeah, he's been on twice with a walk and a single.
He did a little Miguel Cabrera. You're playing Pepper. You got a guy changing speeds. This is a curve ball. It stays up. I mean, he didn't overswing. Just a nice, solid line drive swing. And they, you know, Monday working on it. In fact, they've been working on it pretty much every time he takes batting practice. Just try to stay through the ball. And he was able to do it there.
Score takes the running game away from the Orioles. Down here 6-0. Low on. Here's Markakis, who has flied out, grounded out, and looking for his first hit in this series. Nick is 0 for 10.
Well, when you have to play your infield in because you're not scoring runs in the fourth inning down by 2 runs, it tells you that what the manager thinks about the fact that Verlander's on the mound and you're struggling for runs. Didn't want to have to do that. And Verlander, I mean,
I think he just likes throwing the first.
Yeah, well,
just for fun. He tosses over there at odd times. 0-1 count. And the 0-1 runner goes, hit and run. They just keep the double play away. Markakis is retired. Down to second base goes Lowe, and there are 2 away in the 5th inning. So another RBI opportunity. It'll go to Manny Machado.
Well, you got to start somewhere, and as we told you, lifetime 239 runners in scoring position number, so it's not easy.
Machado had a chance in the 3rd inning, came up with base runner on. Lowe, again, who had drawn a walk, was at second base. Machado, a strikeout victim. Got Lowe again at second base. Big lead off second, and the foul the other way. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts in the ball game for Verlander. He's had 5 straight years, 200 or more strikeouts, 7 straight where he's pitched 200 or more innings, and looking for his 9th lifetime win against the Orioles against 2 losses. Here's the 0-1 pitch inside to him. 1-1.
Well, you had Pfister with over 200 last year. He got traded. You had Verlander with over 200, Scherzer with over 200, and then Sanchez with 100, almost 180. There's that curveball, and it is so good that
knocked the catcher down.
Yeah, not even on a fastball. No, he just wanted to try to make sure he caught it, and then he was leaning back.
There are the numbers for the perennial All-Star. His ERA 10th in the league, coming in today at 2.67. 1 ball, 2 strike count, low off second base. Machado the 1-2. Breaking ball again. With the Orioles scoring only a run a ball game here, or 2 or fewer for the last 3, they've dropped now to 12th in the league overall in runs per game, even though their batting average is 3rd. And the Orioles fewest walks, on base percentage 13th. Breaking ball taken down low.
And when they do hit home runs, not a lot of multiple home runs like we've seen the Tigers in this series with a 2-run shot, 3-run shot.
And the count goes to 3-2. 3-2, 2 down.
Jim Presley, Oriole hitting instructor, but such a positive guy, so he knows that, as Buck Showalter said, offense comes and goes, and it's kind of gone lately. And pitching has something to do with it. I mean, that's, you have to give the opponents, and then talked about the makeup of the club. I was looking at it. I said, okay, Nate McLouth, obviously big loss, but got a nice deal with the Nationals. Boy, it'd be nice to have him back. He's hitting 107 with 56 at bats. So you're just going to have to figure internally how we get a little bit better, and they will.
3-2 delivery on the way again, and Machado will take it. Verlander wanted to call, didn't get it. So he surrenders his 3rd walk of the ball game, and the Orioles get 2 on with 2 down for Adam Jones.
Yeah, Jonesy's swinging very well as of late. Well, when you give a guy a big lead like that, and then and don't think that they don't still remember he threw behind Cruz, they still would like to get him out of the game. It's only the 5th inning.
Adam Jones last night delivering the long ball.
3-1 fastball off the Smiley, the only run that Drew Smiley gave up. Made the Orioles a lead all the way till 2 out in the 9th inning.
So Adam bats with a base hit, 1 for 2, 9-game hit streak. 2 on, 2 down, and that's going to be off the glove of Kelly. It'll get a run in. Raja Davis will play it back in. That will score David Lowe, and the Orioles are on the board, and it's a 6-1 ball game.
Well, David Lowe starts it off, hit the curveball into center field, and then the walk to Manny Machado, and the curveball that just stays up. Not too many have stayed around the middle of the plate. Great angle from right here, and Adam Jones with a couple of hard hits off of Verlander, and this one's going to get the Orioles on the board, one with their first run.
Adam hitting over 280 for the month. Picks up the RBI, and he's had a couple of hits in this ball game, 2 for 3. And the Orioles make it a 6-1 ball game with 2 on and 2 away. Jones getting RBI number 22.
And you're one big fly away from making it 6-4.
And the other way for Chris Davis. He has grounded out and drawn a walk. Chris with a 4 for 22 now against Verlander.
So Justin Verlander's been 90, 91 all day long. Curveballs, changeups. Went to 94 when he got in trouble with Hardy. A couple of inning goes back in the 4th, and that first pitch at 94. So he'll go to, at least try to go to another gear.
Runners on 1st and 2nd. Davis up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Manny Machado is going to come around to score. Jones to 3rd. So the Orioles a 2-out rally as Chris Davis delivers the RBI base hit. He's got 14 driven in, and it is a 6-2 game.
Well, another curveball. This one hangs. It's right in the middle of the plate. Nice swing. Stays through it. Base hit to center field. And Manny Machado now makes it 6-2.
Well, the Orioles a big fifth inning off Verlander. Jones goes over to third, and Cruz coming up. Nelson has had a base hit. He is 1 for 2, also a strikeout victim. Again, all of the Oriole hits have been singles, but making him work here in the fifth. 2 on, still with 2 down. Orioles 5 hits in the ball game. Delivery to Cruz. He'll take it down low for a ball.
So now to 96. Nelson, what, 4 for 24 lifetime. Has yet to hit a long ball off of Justin Verlander. Doesn't need to do it how, just has to keep the rally going.
Here's the 1-0 delivery to him. He would really like to keep the rally going, because in the last at bat.
Yep, this is all about Torrey Hunter getting plunked.
Threw behind him. Each team was warned. He did deliver a base hit after that pitch. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Cruz will foul it off the mask. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Well, the Orioles make it interesting here in the fifth, with a long way to go in the ball game. Manny Machado picking up a big walk and has scored. 1-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way. Cruz will lift it in the air to left field. It is back, warning, track wall. And goodbye, home run! He answers Verlander. A 3 RBI homer, and the Orioles are right back in the ball game. 6-5. Where would the Orioles be without Nelson Cruz?
Yeah, well, again, I mean, I told you back in the fourth when he threw behind him, this was silly. You're trying to win. Why do you want to, when you got a 5-0 lead, aggravate the team you're trying to beat? And then in this inning, 3 pitches. The first couple of base hits on curveballs. So take a look right here. I mean, this is a guy that's never hit a home run. He's going to another gear. Good breaking ball. This will be 96. A little bit late. And there's the curveball. It's not a horrible one, but it ends up in the middle of the plate. And in Camden Yards, it sails out of here for a 3-run shot.
Verlander's only given up a couple. They both have been hit by right-handers, and that's a big one as Nelson Cruz continues to lead the Orioles offense. 11 home runs and 33 RBIs. Today it's all come in one slice here in the fifth. And again, they're doing it with a couple of outs. Hardy, a 6-5 ball game, an inning that started 6-0 Tigers.
Yeah, soft single by Lowe, and then the walk to Machado. I mean, that kind of sets it up because you get into the big boys.
And he will take the pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike count from Verlander. Cruz came into the game only 3 for 22 off Verlander. He's 2 for 3 in this game, and his first home run off the right-hander. High strike call to Hardy, 1-2. Base hit low, 1 away, and then with 2 down, the Manny Machado walk, and that started the conga line. Grounded to third base. Worth is there, or short rather, and will make the play for the out. But the Orioles have a big inning. They pick up the runs on 4 hits, 5 of them, and make it a 1-run game, 3 on that swing. again tomorrow. A 4-game set will begin in Kansas City. Wei-Yin Chen will take the mound against Giordano Ventura. Our coverage on MASN begins at 7:30 with those extra presented by Dodge, followed by game coverage at 8. All the access you need right here on MASN. And Jim talking about the Royals earlier, back to 500, winning 5 of their last 7, led by Hosmer so far in May. There are the rankings.
Yeah, well, again, they still, because you look there, I mean, their ERA very good, especially at home, huge ballpark. The big story, Mike Moustakas, should he go to Omaha or hitting 147 or not? Well, they didn't send him out, so we'll see him.
Moustakas remains.
Yeah. The Kansas City Moose.
Well, this game turns interesting in a hurry. First start for Verlander in which he has given up more than 3 runs. In this, his 9th start of the season. The Orioles getting the 5 runs in that inning. Now Miguel Gonzalez in relief of Guzman, something to work for here. And it makes that run that scored in the 5th inning, the unearned run, that much more important for the Tigers. Brian Holiday 2 for 2. Their catcher has singled twice, scored twice, and has an RBI. Gonzalez's pitch will be up high to him, 2-1. Kevin Gausman, 5 runs, 6 hits over 4. He walked 1, struck out 2. Orioles 5 runs on 6 hits off Verlander. Worth and then Davis at the top of the order. Showed bunt, takes it. It's a strike.
Well, he certainly doesn't mind hitting with 2 strikes. Both of the base hits came with the 2 strikes.
It's the bottom part of the order that's raised havoc today against the Orioles. Kelly, Holiday, and Worth. 2-2 delivery. And our Maryland lottery contestants having a good day. Tammy Cup, another 500 on that home run hit by Cruz. So that's $1,000. Tammy. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Gonzalez will get his first strikeout.
Well, that's what he can do. A little split-fingered fastball. Holiday's going to shake his head on this pitch. He thinks it's going to stay up in the zone. Well, it might even have been a slider. Whatever. It went down, and he swung right over it. You might as well pick yourself up a win.
Why not?
Yeah, hang around, certainly. I mean, he pitched 7 innings. He is pitching on a day short rest, so I'm sure he'll just Buck Shoulder very happy. Inning 2.
Worth up, and he takes a strike. He too, 2 singles, run scored. RBI for the shortstop. Oh, 1 count, 1 down. Gonzalez's delivery to him, and that will be away, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. One delivery, and it's going to miss, and the count will go to 2-1. Orioles, with all of these games outside of the division, still have that good 13-8 mark against the East. Against the Central, though, they are 3-8 coming into this game. 2-1 against the West and 2-0 against the National. More interleague games coming up next week. Pittsburgh, couple there. 3-1 delivery towards right center. Jones right there. And that's the second out of the inning. Follow every Orioles game all season long with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. At Bat brings you baseball wherever you are. Look-ins, instant replay scores, free MLB TV game of the day, classic games, and more. Download the award-winning MLB.com at bat, the App Store, or Orioles.com.
One of the great apps if you're a baseball fan. Scores, games, radio.
Yep.
Get it all.
Rajah Davis will take it up high. Nothing like listening to those West Coast ball games after you finish up here at the ballpark. Have a cigar, take a walk, have it on. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Davis struck out, popped out, sac fly in the 4th inning. One and 1, 2 down. And the other way, foul by Rajah Davis.
Yeah, I figure they signed Rajah Davis, Verlander. Nobody up in the bullpen, so I assume he's getting ready to come back out there. But he hit well over 300 against lefties. Struggled against righties, but stole 45 bases. So you get him. Not a bad defensive player. Can steal bases. Can be a platoon player. And then Dirks gets hurt, so he's playing more than they thought. And doing a nice job.
2-2 delivery with 2 away, and he puts that one high up in the air to left field. Low, going back, warning track wall, and goodbye, home run. Rajah Davis puts one out of the ballpark and increases the Tiger lead to 2, his 3rd home run of the year.
Well, you take a look, just a spinning slider, speeds up the bat, and boy, he gets to extend his arms. And in this ballpark, I mean, it's a hit me slider. And that's what he does.
Well, Davis has got 2 home runs now against the Orioles this year. 2 out of the 3 that he's hit. And he picks up his 2nd RBI of the game and his 6th RBI against the Orioles this season. And a big run there to make it 7-5. Gonzalez surrenders his 7th home run. Kinsler on a check swing. It'll go to Chris Davis. He'll go to the bag. And that will retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on base as the Tigers use the long ball to pick one up.
Tigers. Retaliation for what happened Monday night when Torrey Hunter got hit by Bud Norris. Both teams get warned, and then all of a sudden you got a chance to get back in the game. Singles by Davis and Jones. There's 96, and then the curveball that stays in the middle of the plate. Fly ball deep to left field. 3-run home run by Nelson Cruz. 11th of the year. Orioles celebrate, get back into the game. 6-5 at that time, and then Davis hits the home run to make it 7-5. That is your Geico highlights. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Verlander, the starter, still out there for the Tigers. Clevenger leads it off. Steve, the only Oriole not to hit in that 5th inning. Clevenger is headed to a fielder's choice, and he's been called out on strikes. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Verlander will get that one in. 1-1. Verlander 3 strikeouts and 3 walks. He has walked as many as 4 this year in ball games. Done that twice. 1-1 delivery, and Clevenger fights it off. He had only 3 strikeouts against the Orioles in that start in Detroit, and he's got 3 today.
Yeah, the amazing thing about the Orioles 5-run 5th inning, all 4 hits on curveballs. And it started with David Lowe serving one into center. Jones, Davis, and then the 3-run home run by Cruz on a hook.
1-2. Tigers activate the bullpen. We get the righty-lefties going. Ian Kroll, Evan Reed, both up. The Orioles also have got a bullpen thrower, and that's Ryan Webb. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Trying to avoid a sweep in this ball game. The Orioles losing the first 2 to the Tigers. And a reach and a foul ball. And a long reach.
Well, one of the problematic things of trying to hit with 2 strikes, in and out. That was a good changeup. Somehow make contact, put it in play somewhere.
That'll go to short. Worth to Cabrera, and Clevenger is retired. 1 away in the bottom of the 6th inning. Day game, fans getting out, overcast skies today, but comfortable for the ball game. 65 when we started. About the same kind of weather that's expected in Kansas City.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit cooler, down into the 40s at night. And well, I guess probably get in, but that day game on Sunday, the only game over 70. And then Pittsburgh, I think, is in the low 70s, at least the forecast for Pittsburgh.
Fouled away by Jonathan Scope.
Haven't been to the new ballpark, so I'm looking forward to it. I didn't like the old one.
Bring your binoculars.
Since we lost 2 World Series there.
Yes.
Going to have a ticker tape parade for me. They love the Orioles in Pittsburgh. 71 and 79.
It's a beautiful ballpark.
Well, you told me that, but it's
really, and when you're up in the press box and you look out and see all the bridges and downtown, it's really pretty.
Can you see the field?
No.
Okay.
No. 0-2 count on Scope. Low waiting on deck. And that'll be taken up high.
Yeah, Jeff Jones on the right, the pitching coach.
1-2 delivery, and the breaking ball's outside. The Tigers with that 5.5 game lead over Kansas City. What has happened to the White Sox? They've lost 4 in a row. They're 19 and 22. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And a swing and a miss.
Well, there's the good breaking ball. It's almost like he went away from the curveball. This was more like a slider, and it's perfectly thrown. Jonathan Scope trying to cover that outside corner and just can't do it. There's the slider spin down and away.
So Verlander gets a couple of outs, trying for a 1-2-3 inning. Low with a base hit, a run scored, and he has drawn a walk, getting the start in left field. Even at third, they play in, popped up, catcher Holiday there, and Verlander indeed does set the Orioles down 1-2-3. So we go to the 7th inning here in the final game of this series. 7-5 Detroit. Baltimore Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. So Verlander comes back after the 5-run inning, retires the side in order, and takes the congrats as he'll be coming out of the ballgame.
Yeah, Warren Webb comes on, and ever since the first week of April, really been pitching well. Last year, fourth in innings pitched with the Marlins in the National League, 66 games, 80 in the third inning. A sinker ball pitcher, sinker slider, doesn't throw too many change-ups, keeps the ball in the ballpark, and he will face Miguel Cabrera. Seems like he's batted already 5 times in this game. Always seems to be coming up with.
And you're that good, everybody's just looking for your name, I guess.
Well, it's that shadow.
Pop it up.
Yeah, that shadow is always. If you're a pitcher, he casts a rather large shadow.
Cabrera, 2 RBI base hit in the third, came with the bases loaded. And he's 1 for 3 in the ball game, 4 for 10 in the series. Has a 6-game hit streak and 9 RBIs against the Orioles this year. And Cabrera will take the pitch away for a ball, moving up to the 300 mark at 299 as he stands in. Cabrera 1 for 1 off Webb, a home run. Orioles have got to hold them now. The Orioles have picked up 5 runs, but have not been able to keep the Tigers down with their Tigers 7 runs and 8 hits. Chopper that'll go into the shift. Hardy.
Yeah, the run, I think that the one that annoys you the most is the chance that Miguel Gonzalez had to turn the double play and then threw it into center field. You know, he hangs sliders. That's the pitch that Davis hit for the home run, but you really don't like to beat yourself. And when you're down 5-0, that extra run, as you come, especially when you put a 5 spot on the board, it becomes huge.
Victor Martinez, a walk and a run scored. He is 0 for 2. He's had 4 hits in 10 at-bats in this series. Home run he picked up in the ball game last night. Webb's delivery to him. Webb has worked in a couple of ball games against the Tigers this year in relief. Inning in 2/3, 2 runs, 4 hits allowed. A 1-0 count with J.D. Martinez due up next. 1-0 delivery to him, and that one's going to miss. Fall behind 2-0. Al Albuquerque, who almost didn't make it to the majors because his name wouldn't fit on a jersey, was warming up in the bullpen. How many names? 3 or 1?
Yeah, how is Salto Lamacchia still playing?
Don't know.
Well, he's got big shoulders.
Special stitcher.
Yeah, you can't wear a 40 regular and play in the big leagues with that name. No.
2-0 count on Martinez. And the pitch will be inside. So Webb falls behind 3-0. Orioles have issued only a couple of walks in the ball game, one by Guzman and one by Gonzalez. One of those scored. Gonzalez, a couple of innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Guzman back with the Orioles today for his first appearance in the majors this year. 5 runs, 6 hits over 4. That's going to be a base hit into the shift. Nick Markakis will play it. Martinez on. 5-game hit streak for him, 1 down. That'll bring up J.D. Martinez. Walk, reach on an error, and he is flied out. 9 hits for the Tigers. Webb out of the stretch, short lead, Martinez at first. And to short, Hardy's got it. 2 down. J.D. Martinez retired.
Yeah, he's just not as smart as the other Martinez. Keeps hitting line drives at people.
So a 2-down Jackson. Jackson has flied out to center twice, reached on the fielder's choice, stole a base, and scored in the 4th inning. Orioles won the series last year against the Tigers 4-2. They've won only 1-4 so far this year. And this is the final game of the season series. And the pitch taken for a strike. Oh, and 1 to Jackson. And we'll chop that foul. Going to get out and see the Orioles here in the month of May. Only one more chance to do it in the series-wise. Cleveland will be here for 4. Orioles go to Kansas City, play 4, day off next Monday, then play at Pittsburgh for 2. They'll come home and play the Indians on May 22 through the 25th. And then the Orioles go right back on the road again for Milwaukee, Houston, and Texas. Runner going. Not realized until he was almost there, and a stolen base.
Yeah, a little delayed steal. Yeah, see, just right there, and then he goes. Of course, the former catcher, he knows that if you don't pick him up, that somebody doesn't yell. You can see the hesitation. That's all it takes. A stolen base by Victor Martinez.
He's got 2 on the year, 2 out of 4. More importantly, puts him in scoring position for Jackson with 2 down and a 1-ball 2-strike count. See how big that is or isn't. Fouled off. Webb keeping it at 1-2. Boy, these Tigers adding this element of running to everything else that they've got going for them.
Well, what they're doing is taking what ball clubs give them. And, you know, Brad Ausmus is and I keep reiterating, I mean, the Gold Glove catcher, he knows the running game. It's tough to control. And you got to be aware. You got to be heads up.
1-2 delivery. Tigers are 3 for 3 in the ball game, stealing bases. 1 ball, 2-strike count. So a big out here with Jackson all of a sudden with the 2-run difference. Victor Martinez. They won't try and hold him close at second. With 2 down, they want to get Jackson and not give him any holes. And Jackson goes down swinging. So Webb will pick up the strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 7th inning stretch time here at Camden Yards. 7-5 Tigers. Krieger Eye Institute, from routine to the most sophisticated eye care. LifeBridge Health's Krieger Eye Institute handles it all. Call 410-601-2020 for a same-day appointment. The Royals. And then a couple at the Pirates. Speaking of a couple, I'm with Go Tigers. Who invited this guy? Let's go. Obviously married.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Albuquerque. Well, you're right. Look at that.
It's 12 letters.
Yeah, wow. Not a bad place. Albuquerque, New Mexico. But I'll tell you, he came in on Monday night. They were out on the field on Tuesday, and everybody goes, wow, what was that fastball? 95. Where's the slider? And some of the Orioles were going, because you don't need it now that you're throwing 95. So he came in and pitched well for him in that 4-1 win on Monday night. Just get a base runner. That's where you start. Nick would certainly like to do it. That 18-game hitting streak ended when the Tigers came in on Monday.
Go after the first pitch and pop it foul. Albuquerque against the Orioles in game number 1. Couple of strikeouts, working the inning and putting him down. So Albuquerque on here. Verlander, a chance to win his 5th. 5 runs, 6 hits, 6 innings. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Verlander 0-1 against the Orioles on the year, and there's a 9-iron.
Yeah, there's the slider. So you know, hitting it when you have a good arm, and of course the first pitch at 92, Nick was a little bit late on it, and then you figure, okay, hands got to get back, foot's got to get down. I got to be able to maybe just make sure I get the bat head out, trust my hands, and then he drops off a really good breaking ball.
Towering fly ball to right field. Martinez will come over near the line and put it away, and Markakis retired 0 for 4. Troy Patton in the Orioles bullpen. Manny Machado here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A walk and a run scored. The Orioles all their runs in the 5th off Verlander. Adam Jones RBI base hit, same for Davis, and then Cruz with a 3-run homer, his 11th of the year, from a 6-0 deficit to at that point a 6-5 game, and then the home run by Rajah Davis in the 6th, making it a 7-5 game for the Tigers. Machado with the 0 for 2 in the ball game, couple of hits and 10 at bats in the series. He's faced Albuquerque only once, 0 for 1. And he'll foul it off the other way.
Well, for Albuquerque, 70 strikeouts in 49 innings last year. It gives you an idea of what kind of stuff he has.
Turning into a workhorse for this team. It is his 20th appearance, 4th most for American League pitchers. Swung on, missed, tag put on, and there are 2 down.
Well, it's pretty simple when you have that kind of stuff and you can execute your pitches. Just speed up the bat by throwing 92 to 94 and then bury a slider. And gets Manny to wave at it. That's a perfect breaking ball. Right where you want to throw it with 2 strikes.
Over the last 3 years, Albuquerque is the leader in strikeouts for relief pitchers, averaging 13 per 9 innings. No American League reliever has more over the last 3 years.
Yeah, he's an important part of that bullpen. We saw Ian Kroll. We saw him on Monday night. He was warming up earlier, but with Phil Koch kind of in and out, he's had good months, but he's not been consistent the last 2 years. And Smiley becoming out of the bullpen where he was 6-0 to start. They needed somebody like Kroll. There he is right there. So that's why I think one of the reasons that they made the Doug Fister trade.
Jones will take that one. Count goes to 2-0. Adam with a base hit, run scored in the 5th inning. 2 for 3 in the ball game. Good series for him with 5 hits, 11 at bats, a couple of RBIs and a home run.
And all Adam wants to do is get on base somewhere. 2-0 slider. That gives you an idea of how much he trusts that breaking pitch. And Adam keeps looking down at Don Kelly down at third because he's playing really deep, saying, boy, and we've seen him do it.
He will drop a bunt.
Yeah.
This one he's going to hit that way. Kelly charging. Got to hurry. Not going to get him. It'll be an infield hit. The American League leader in infield hits has got another. Adam Jones, a 3-hit ball game.
And oh no.
Is he hurt?
Well, he's holding his
and limping back to the bag.
I mean, just a slider and he tops it. So it's a long way when you're playing that deep. If he's just playing, I mean, maybe a step behind the bag. You're hoping he just kind of hit the front of the bag with his leg. It gives him the safe sign. And
Brad Ausmus is going to make his way to the mound and go to the bullpen. He wants the left-hander to pitch against Chris Davis. So the Orioles, they have mounted one comeback to get within one, now trailed by two. They've got the potential tying run coming up. Game out of this one as they try and avoid being swept by the Tigers, and the Birds are back in it down by two with Davis coming up to face the left-hander.
Yeah, it's all about matchups. So the last 9 game, Kroll has been really, really good. He's only given up 1 earned runs. We saw him the other night. Got Markakis to fly to center field. So lefties at 208, righties with much better numbers. So we know about their starters. It's we've seen Nathan in both of the games. They're closer. So it's about your setup guys to get them to the closer.
Well, let's see what the Orioles can do with it here. The infield hit by Jones, keeping the inning alive. The Orioles able to pick up those RBIs in the 5th inning. All 5 runs coming with 2 down. Davis, part of that inning, RBI base hit. 1 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. And the breaking ball, big benders in there for a strike. 2 down. Jones at first base against the lefties for Chris this year, hitting .222, .246 off right-handers. Both home runs hit against righties. 0-1 delivery. Kroll's pitch, that one straight in on the inside corner.
Yeah, he did give up a double to Steve Clevenger up the gap on a hanging breaking ball. So we'll see if he goes back to the breaking ball with the 2-strike count to Chris Davis.
Played with the Washington Nationals. A couple of stints last season. 2-1 record. 0-2 delivery. Davis reaching down to first and foul.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the hanger we saw on Monday.
Shift put on with 2 down. They can go to the full shift. They bring the third baseman Kelly over to play the rover, leaving Kinsler in and at second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Davis reaching and somehow fouls it off. So we'll keep the count at 2 strikes. Now it's Zach Britton joining Troy Patton. Davis waiting on another 0-2. Jones off first, and the pitch will be up high. Chris, like many of the Orioles, struggling here at home, hitting only .205 coming into the ball game. 60 points higher on the road. One of his 2 home runs here at Camden Yards.
Yeah, 28 of them last year out of the 53. Love to hit here.
1-2 the count. And that one goes right to him. And Worth will record the out. So Davis retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on base, 7 complete with the Tigers up by 2. Time the kiss cam, and if the camera comes on you, you're supposed to kiss your partner. Little girl was watching that, and she kept turning to her father waiting for the camera to come. Well, it didn't come, so she just gave him a kiss anyway. Huh? How many years of your life is that worth? I mean, that's just beautiful. Watch her right here. Daddy, I want to do this. Why don't they show us? All right. That'll make your day.
Well, Father's Day is coming up.
Close.
We got a little glimpse of it today. Troy Patton will come in to pitch for the Orioles, back on the off the suspended list. There are the numbers. And when he is pitching well, it really doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed. That's what they like about him. You know, change up to the right-handers is the equalizer, and he's got the big breaking ball that he can get lefties out with.
So Patton trying to hold this at a 2-run difference as we go to the 8th inning. Webb worked an inning, gave up a hit, and had a strikeout, and that one tagged up in the air and fouled. Don Kelly getting the start at third base. RBI base hit, walk, stolen base, and a run scored, and he's lined out. Bottom part of the order, but not the easy part, as they have collected 5 hits in the ball game. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Tigers, and they have scored 4 of the 7 runs and driven in 3 of them. That would be good for Kinsler, Cabrera, and Martinez, or anybody else.
Well, what they did the first time, the first 2 runs, is get on for Miguel Cabrera, and then he drove them in.
Patton's pitch will miss, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Java Chamberlain in the bullpen for the Tigers. In the 8th, the Orioles coming from a 6-0 deficit, 6-5. Tigers added another. Make it 7-5, and that's where we are. Foul back.
Yeah, Don Kelly had 1 for 2 at bats against left-handers this year. And obviously, platoon guy, as you mentioned. Yeah, I have known. He said his first 6, 7 years in pro ball, he was a shortstop, so he has played everywhere.
1-2 delivery from Patton to him, and that'll be outside. Kelly takes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 2 walks issued by the Oriole pitchers today. They have struck out 4. Verlander walked 3. He and Albuquerque combined for 5 strikeouts. Verlander 4 of them. Fouled over the screen and holds the count at 2-2. Albuquerque worked 2/3 of an inning. Gave up a hit and had a strikeout. Kroll came on to get the final out against the Orioles in the 7th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Check swing. He went. Home plate umpire makes the call.
Yeah, Don Kelly trying to hang in, but eventually the bender gets him, and it was a good one. Yeah, hoping that he could stop the bat and couldn't.
That'll bring up Ryan Holiday, the catcher. Holiday, a couple of singles, 2 runs scored, RBI, and he has struck out. He's 2 for 10 off the lefties this year. And away for a ball from Troy Patton. Patton, of course, just getting back into major league shape as far as games pitched in. He's coming back from the suspension. This is his 6th game, having only worked 3 2/3 innings. 1-0 delivery. 1-1.
Well, there's your career numbers. So they're pretty balanced out. Maybe a few more home runs than you'd like to have given up.
1-1 delivery. Bunt. Foul. Had Machado back, but couldn't get it down on the grass.
Well,
1-2.
This Brian Holiday is a pretty crafty guy. I mean, singles and bunts, and not supposed to do that when you don't get to play a lot. You're supposed to just sit back, swing from your heels, and
hit a home run.
Well, put down the fingers for Mr. Verlander.
Love having guys like they've got coming off the bench. I mean, they've got some veteran players, and a Holiday who's a good catcher and putting up some offense. 1-2 delivery, popped him up. Second base. Scope. 2 down in the 8th inning. That'll bring up Danny Worth. Worth has a couple of singles, an RBI, a run scored, 2 for 3. 36,727. 36,727 for this day ball game. Matt Wieters, Bobby Dickerson. Matt will make the trip with the Orioles. He'll be helping out with the catchers. Caleb Joseph, Steve Clevenger, preparing for the games, but will not be doing anything baseball wise. Won't have a bat in his hand, won't be throwing a ball. 1-0 delivery, and that's on the outside corner. 1-1.
There is Caleb Joseph. What a night he had.
Tremendous night behind the plate, catching base stealers and assisting offensively. Got his major league first hit. Jonathan Scope, smooth pickup, and that will retire Worth on a 1-2-3 inning for Patton. Bottom of the 8th, the Orioles are down by 2. let's take a look at our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Well, this is the equalizer. Gets the Orioles right back in the game after Justin Verlander threw one behind Cruz the time before. All about Monday night when Hunter got plunked, and all of a sudden he goes from 6-0 to 6-2 to 6-5. They had another home run, so there you go.
And our drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 Lexus dealer. Come see why at LexusofTowson.com.
So Jabba Chamberlain comes in. He has pitched well for him. I mean, last game out, a couple of runs in an inning, but averaging 13.5 strikeouts per inning. Power guy, curveball, slider, fastball. Got all the pitches. And he's got the beard.
Chamberlain, familiar face from the days in New York. Hit it here, said the young man with the glove raised. Right here.
Well, the Orioles are hoping he's in fair territory.
Yes.
Above one of the outfield walls.
It'll be Cruz, Hardy, and Clevenger coming up. Chamberlain has appeared against the Orioles once this year. Worked an inning and gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. He has 31 games against the Orioles, 4 wins, 2 saves, no losses, 3.21 ERA against the O's. And Jabba Chamberlain will work here to Nelson Cruz. Chamberlain in his 277th career game, 43 as a starter. And Cruz will take the pitch for a strike. Down by only 2 here in the 8th. Tigers have hit the Orioles 9-7. Tigers have 1 unearned run up on the board. Cruz puts it up in the air, center. Jackson will put it away, and Cruz retired 1 away. That'll bring up J.J. Hardy, who's 0 for 3 in the ball game and 1 for 11 in the series. Hardy against Chamberlain has had a home run. He's 2 for 5.
Yeah, it's really never been about the stuff for Jabba, even with the Yankees. I mean, started 1 year, had a little problem when to go to 94, 96. You know, a lot of 2-seamers early, but it's just a matter of sometimes he'll get in a rut where he'll hang sliders, he'll get behind, balls in the middle of the plate. And as you look at his numbers, I mean, last year 45 games for the Yankees, but a high ERA for him, almost 5 runs a game.
Gets the 1-ball, 1-strike count on Hardy. Chamberlain looking to fill some of those holes that the Tigers felt they had in the middle relief area. 1-1 delivery. Hardy, a base hit into left field.
Well, that's what I was talking about. You know, a lot of times, and we already saw it with Roger Davis on the home run, but this is a slider, and it just stays up enough. Nice swing, but it's not down and away. So it's only 84. 95 probably hit it to the middle of the field. 84 speeds the bat up, and the Orioles now have the tying run coming to the plate.
Clevenger has faced Chamberlain once, 1 for 1. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game, 3 for 7 though in the series. Now the Orioles right in it after that Cruz home run in the 5th inning. Orioles in the ball game and again get the potential tying run to the plate. Davis was there in the 7th, grounded out with 2 down, runner on. Clevenger now with 1 out and a runner on. And Steve has been hitting the baseball. Clevenger 6 RBIs.
Well, what's impressive about him is he hits the ball where it's pitched. In other words, you pitch him away, he's going to hit the ball that way. That's why he doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but it looks like he's got a nice compact swing.
Of the 14 hits he's picked up, he's had 8 doubles and 1 triple. So extra base hits 9 out of 14. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Lights on the overcast skies, darkening it here in the afternoon.
And once again, they throw over to first base.
Don't know. Java Chamberlain, the 1-1 delivery, and that is there. So Chamberlain will get ahead, a ball and 2 strikes on Clevenger. Very short lead at first for J.J. Hardy. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and Clevenger will take it up high. So Chamberlain goes 2-2. Kansas City leading Colorado 3-0 today in their ball game in KC. They are in the 5th of that one. Ryan Mattis the lefty, O'Day the righty. 2-2, foul back. Webb worked an inning with the 1 strikeout, 1 hit. Gonzalez 2 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned. Couple of hits, a walk and a strikeout. Kevin Guzman 5 runs, 6 hits, 4 innings. Gosman coming back to make his first major league appearance for Kevin this year with the Orioles. 2-2. And Clevenger in a check swing, did not go around.
Yeah, Bob Davison down at third with his arms up right away. Take a look. Nope. Nice check on a good breaking ball in the dirt.
One down. Hardy at first, and the 3-2. And Clevenger's got to get a base hit into left field. Quality at bat right there for the Orioles catcher, and the Orioles here in the 8th have 2 on.
Well, we talked about using the whole field, but also you get to see 6 pitches, and then you get to see the spin on the breaking ball. He ends up getting a fastball to hit, and kind of what he did on Monday night when he got 3 hits. Used the whole field, just slices it into left field. Now all of a sudden the go-ahead run comes to the plate.
Only 1 away, and Jonathan Scope coming up 0 for 3 in the ball game. And the Orioles get another chance. Each team has left 5 on base in the ball game.
Yeah, normally in this situation, whoever's going to close the game, let's take a look right here. All of a sudden, the numbers getting a little bit better after going 0 for 12, but your closer would be up in the bullpen. So maybe your closer will not be Tommy Hunter today.
Buck Showalter wouldn't answer that pregame. That'll be fouled off. And a 1-strike count. The Java Chamberlain in a bit of a jam here in the 8th inning. 2 singles, Hardy and Clevenger. And Scope with the RBI chance. He has faced Chamberlain only with 1 at bat, 1 for 1.
Well, he's trying to hang some sliders. There is one, but it just stayed up enough where he gets away with it.
Oh, 2 delivery on the way. You got him. Big strikeout from Chamberlain.
Man, went back to the fastball and froze him. Knee high. Slider, knee high fastball. Right at the bottom of the zone.
And that pitch ends that at bat, and there are 2 down. David Lowe, solid day in the 9th spot, a walk. Base hit and a run scored, 1 for 2. 2 on and 2 down. And Lowe on a breaking ball. Strike 1. Lowe has seen Chamberlain only once, 0 for 1. Real battle here, grinded out game. Hardy, Clevenger, the base runners. 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and up in front fouls it off.
Yeah, you're seeing pretty much all the pitches from Java. That was a curveball. Seen the slider, seen the fastball. When he started, he even had a little changeup.
The 93, 94 mile an hour fastball down to that 80 mile an hour off speed pitch. Big differentiation.
Yeah, he came up at the end of 2007 throwing about 96 to 98.
1-2, runners off first and second base. Runners stay. Holiday tracks it down.
What was it, the Java rule that Joe Torre had? Never got to pitch in consecutive days. Trying to protect his arm.
Hoped he was going to be a starter.
Well, he did. He started 32 games, won 9 and 6. ERA went up about two runs from 260 to 475 the year that he started.
2-2 delivery again and again.
I always thought when he started he just didn't know. It's pretty easy when you're a power guy, and he's always had a terrific arm. As you come in and you're only going to face maybe 3, 4, or 5 hitters, well, it's Powder River. Well, when he was starting, it was always that, okay, I'm going to worry about how I feel in the 4th inning, and he's trying to get out of the 1st.
Yeah.
He was throwing 2 seamers, and you'd never really see his best stuff until he got in trouble. And sometimes when he got in trouble, he'd have a big inning, and all of a sudden didn't pitch as well as he would have liked.
Got a battle here with Lowe. Here's the 2-2 delivery again. That's in the dirt. Holiday will block it. So Lowe making him go full. 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, Steve Clevenger at first is the tying run. He does not run that well, and all of a sudden when you go 3-2 and 2 outs, you do get to start the runners. And this outfield plays very deep. So if you hit one up the gap and it gets to the wall and the guy on first is running, good chance of maybe getting him home.
7th pitch of this at bat will be coming. 3-2, runners take off, and he walked him, and they're loaded. Nobody in the bullpen for the Tigers.
Well, nobody up. They do have a lefty in Phil Koch, and here comes Jeff Jones. And Nick Markakis still looking for his first hit in this series. What a great time. Came in with an 18-game hitting streak. Would like to start another one right here.
Chamberlain throwing a lot of pitches. So with the bases loaded and 2 down, the Orioles a great chance. Base hit can get this ball game tied up in the 8th inning, and he has good numbers against Chamberlain with the 5 for 12. And Chamberlain, this is his inning, as the Tigers haven't had anybody up and still don't. Back before that 5th inning, not many thought it was going to look like this in the 8th. Bases loaded, 2 down, and a chance to get the ball game tied up. Markakis off speed pitch to him, and it is in there for a strike all the way down to 77.
Yeah, that was the curveball, and that's fine. He wasn't looking for it. The good hitters, the pitchers want to get you out on their pitch. The good hitters make you throw enough strikes where, and if you don't, they get to look at their pitch.
In the air, going back Jackson. He's got it. So the Orioles can't find the big hit in the 8th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 3 are left on base, and the Tigers remain up by 2. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at ococean.com. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you as the Orioles battling against the Tigers, who are trying to sweep the O's in this 3-game set. Tigers have the 7-5 lead as we go to the 9th inning, and Brian Mattis.
So Brian comes on. His last appearance was in the 3-game sweep of the Rays. Came in, time run, and got Loney out. A tough lefty who hits righties and lefties well. So there are the numbers. 17th game. You can see, last year, lights out against lefties. So the averages come down against right-handers. Are actually probably about the same, but the number up against lefties. But has not pitched in 6 days, so get him some work here. Try to keep the scoreboard right where it is.
And Rajai Davis will lead it off. Top of the order. Davis, his 3rd home run of the year. 2 of those have been against the Orioles. He's got 2 RBIs, the other on a sac fly. And he's going to take that one to left, right at low.
Yeah, hammered. Well, that's why they got Rajai Davis. He can steal bases. He can hit left-handers. And, boy, hit it right on the nose, but right at David Lowe.
So 1 pitch and 1 out for Brian Mattis. Ian Kinsler coming up. Kinsler's got a 7 for 11 against the Oriole left-hander in his career. 1 hit today, 1 for 4. He's had a 3 for 11 series. Top of the 9th. Cabrera on deck. And inside for a ball. Orioles 3 outs to work with in the ball game. They've been this close. 1-0 delivery. That's foul back. Left-hander with a 1-1. And Kinsler will pop it up. Again back and out of play. Brian's appeared against the Tigers in one other game this year. He worked an inning. Gave up a couple of runs on 2 hits. He's 3-1 lifetime with no saves against the Detroit Tigers. One-two count on Kinsler. Mattis outside to him. Last outing Jim was talking about, Thursday against the Rays. Solid inning and a 3rd. Two ball, 2-strike delivery. Got him to pop one up. Center field. Jones.
Well, that's what Brian Mattis is all about as far as getting righties out. Just buried a changeup down to the way, threw him 2 in a row. So he ran the ball in to get strike 1 and eventually gets him out the other side of the plate. And that's what Brian Mattis was able to do when he started.
Now the Orioles hoping this is the last time they'll have to see Cabrera at the plate except on TV.
Or in the postseason.
And
you'll just have to kind of go with the flow. That's a good pitch.
He's had a 2 RBI base hit. Gone 1 for 4 here in this game. He's had 4 hits, 11 at bats in the series against Brian Mattis. 3 for 5 with a homer. And Brian will catch the outside corner and get ahead of Cabrera. 0-2. Cabrera in the 0-2, and that will be outside. 2 down, nobody on here in the 9th inning. Nathan, the closer, will be coming on to work in the 9th.
3rd successive game.
1-2 delivery. Got him. So Brian Mattis, outstanding outing. Sets the side down in order. Here we go. Buckle them up. Orioles will have the middle of the order coming up.
Orioles came back once in this game, trailing 6-0, scored 5 runs. Can they do it one more time in the bottom of the ninth?
Well, they possibly could. They got the top of that order coming up again, and they're starting to swing the bats like we know they can. First time they've scored this many runs in quite a while. 5-run comeback against Verlander. They're in pretty good shape right now, but they're still down 2 in the bottom of the ninth.
Bottom of the ninth coming up. Let's go back upstairs to Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer.
All right, Tommy Rick, let's see if they got it in them here in the bottom half of the ninth inning as the Tigers go after the sweep, lead this one by 2, and their closer on again.
Well, very effective. We've seen Joe Nathan over the years throw 95, 96. He's about 91, maybe hit 92, used his curveball, great slider. So he throws downhill. He's a big guy. You can see dominating right-handers. But again, this game is pretty much that 5-run inning for the Orioles to get back into the game. You need to get a guy on and hope that you're able to get something go against a very accomplished reliever that they signed 2-year deal. Last year had a very nice year for the Texas Rangers.
So Nathan appears against the Orioles for the 4th time this year, picking up the 3 saves, working 2 2/3 innings, 1 run on 3 hits. Over his career, he's got a 2-0 record and 14 saves against the Orioles with a 1.9 earned run average against the O's. He has never blown a save against the Orioles, 14 for 14. Manny Machado will lead it off against him in the bottom of the 9th inning. A walk and a run scored in the 5th for Manny Machado, 0 for 3 in the ball game. And the Orioles try and get that potential tying run to the plate here in the 9th. Nathan works to him, and the ball will be fouled away. Two games that went down to the 8th and 9th innings. Close ball games. 4-1, 4-1, games 1 and 2. This one played differently with the big lead that the Tigers jumped out to before the Orioles could get on the board. 0-1 delivery. Orioles have lost 3 in a row. They are 1 and 4 against the Tigers in this final regular season game. 0-2 delivery, and did he go after it? No. So neither will Holiday. Valdo Jimenez pitched so well for the Orioles. His start yesterday over 7, but for naught. Nathan, the 1-2 delivery. Missed inside.
Yeah, you can see what the intent was. Holiday shifts in. That ball probably a couple inches off the corner. But you know, Manny's trying to protect that outside corner in the slider.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. Down to third base. Short hopped. Kelly.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a pitch a month from now that Manny Machado, when he gets more at bats, is not going to hit hard, because that slider stayed in the middle of the plate, tried to get it away, but he gets the out. I mean, he is a strike throwing machine.
And 1 down in the bottom of the 9th inning. Adam Jones, already a 3-hit ball game. RBI in the 5th inning. 3 singles, 3 for 4. He is 0 for 2 off Nathan.
So Kelly will play a little bit different now. He will not play as deep as he did because of the possibility of Adam bunting down at third base.
And a strike taken. Nathan 9 out of 11 in saves. Tied for 4th in the American League with 9 saves. He's only given up a run 1 in the last 11 outings, covering 11 innings. Foul back. 0-2.
And he just comes at you at 91. And then he throws strike 1, not afraid to throw the fastball, and actually throws it up in the zone. And then once he gets it there, you have to really protect because the slider is awfully good. And the reason it's good is because he is a big guy and he gets on top of it. So the tilt, it doesn't linger in the strike zone very long when it's thrown well. It appears it's going to be a fastball and just slides away from you.
Here's the 0-2 delivery. Verlander for the Tigers could be the winner. It'd be 5-2. Kevin Gausman, the starter for the Orioles. First start this year. First appearance at the major league level. Pitcher of record for the O's. 1-2 delivery, and that'll go to right field. And almost misjudged, but Martinez makes the play on it. 2 down. So 2 down, nobody on. Here's Chris Davis, a single and an RBI. 1 for 3 and a walk in the ball game. Tigers after the sweep.
Well, maybe Chris can do an Alex Avila. Just hit the ball to the left side somewhere, even if it's accidental. Nobody's playing over there.
And the pitch away for a ball.
Nobody home.
Davis 0 for 4 off Nathan. Base runner needed to get that potential tying run up. Here's the 1-0. And 2-0 from Nathan.
He ought to take a pitch here. We'll see if he does. Need to get on for Nelson Cruz, already with a 3-run home run.
Two-0 delivery. 2 ball, 1 strike count. The home run won't make the difference in this ball game. Cruz got to get up there. 2-1 delivery. Nathan in.
Well, he knows that he has to make, and we saw this last night when Tommy Hunter was able to walk Hunter, and then you got Cabrera to the plate. You have to throw a strike here, and he did. And even if he gets a base hit or he hits a home run, you put the ball in play. It's just pitching to the scoreboard. And Joe Nathan knows that as well as anybody.
2-2 delivery, and that's going to be fouled off.
Now that he gets back into the count, all bets are off as what you're going to get to hit.
Nathan, the deep breath, and the 2-2 delivery. The Tigers were leaving the field.
And Ausmus said it's been a strike all day long. That's great.
That's like 2 reactions.
Raji Davis's dad. He's going, what do you mean?
Oh, it's beautiful.
That was classic.
The Orioles fan with a wow.
Well, he did make the perfect pitch, but the only guy that didn't know that was a home plate umpire.
Here's the 3-2 delivery, and Davis will take it, and he's on. This game goes on. There's what the Orioles needed.
Well, how about a 3-2 slider when you need to throw a strike? And he doesn't.
No, he's done it once today. Cruz with the 3-run homer is 11th in the 5th inning.
Well, it's kind of like walking Hunter last night with the tying run at first to get Cabrera to the plate. Now all of a sudden you get the tying run to the plate because of a 3-2 slider that walks Davis.
Rally caps are on here at Camden Yards. For Cruz, 2-hit day, 2 for 4. Nathan with a runner at first base. Cruz 3 for 8 off Joe Nathan. 2 down. And in the dirt, Holiday with a stop.
Well, if you're trailing the Tigers 6-0 with Verlander on the mound going into the 5th inning, and you said, you know what, we get to have the tying run at the plate with Nelson Cruz, who has 33 RBIs, 11 home runs, you'd say, bring it on. And that's what they get to have happen.
Trying to make that comeback a winning one at this point, just trying to get it tied up. Here's the 1-0 delivery, and Cruz will foul it off the other way. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
And you have to remember for Nelson Cruz, we saw him hit the curveball off of Justin Verlander. He pulled it, but he's got tremendous power the other way. And that play is really big in this ballpark, because if you hit it down the right field line, the ball could easily carry either off the scoreboard or over it.
Nathan has surrendered a couple of home runs this season.
It's one of those equal opportunity home run ballparks. If you're a pitcher, you can throw them anywhere. Ball carries pretty much everywhere.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Cruz will foul it off, and it's 1-2. The homers, 8 to left field, 2 to center, and 1 to right. And the Orioles leader with 11. Nathan, a 1 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Davis getting the walk. He's at first. Cabrera will play behind him. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and it's outside.
I wonder what he has on his hat. Probably has a little pine tar or something. You can see him go to it in between pitches. So as long as I guess you don't have it on your hand or your neck, you can get away with it.
Globs of it.
You have a big glob on your neck. Could be hairspray. Anything to give you that little tackiness.
2-2 delivery. Ground ball will go to short. Worth has got it. He'll go to first, and that is the ball game. The Detroit Tigers have swept the Orioles in this 3-game series. Orioles have lost 4 in a row. The Tigers take the season series 5-1, and the Orioles' big comeback not quite enough as the Tigers win it 7-5. So now the Orioles will head out on the road for the 4-game set against the Royals. Game 1, Wei-Yin Chen. He'll be on the mound against Giordano Ventura. Our coverage will begin at 7:30 on Massa with those extra presented by Dodge, and our game action at 8. This has been a Bassett presentation. Tom and Rico's Extra presented by PNC is coming up right now. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew here.